boys up. They'll be down to breakfast in a few minutes.
Good. Let's get our signs and commence picketing for the women's lib.
Oh, Bessie, I pretty near forgot your sign. Here you are.
Ellie, them girls at the bank didn't say nothing about apes lib.
Well, Bessie's a girl.
Never mind, I hear the men are coming.
What's going on?
Read the sign.
Yeah.
Free women? Hot dog, I'll take a couple. Where is that? What's this all about?
Us women who have suffered for centuries of
Discrimination and subservience.
yeah. And we hereby demand equality and proclaim
Our independence from the domination of men.
right.
Where'd you hear that speech?
Oh, the girl down at the bank learned it to us.
But it's what's in the minds and hearts of women everywhere.
We got to have our freedom.
Could we talk about this after breakfast? That coffee smells awful good.
Would you like me to pour it for you?
Well, yeah, thanks.
Well, here I go, male supremacist.
What'd you do that for?
For women's lib. Make your own coffee.
Well, okay, but what's women's lib?
Liberation from the tyranny of
Chauvinistic male dictatorship.
right.
I looked all over the place. I can't find no women. These signs is what you call false advertising. Get rid of them.
How would you like to have it wrapped around your head?
Ellie, don't stoop to the level of the male brute.
Yes, ma'am, Granny. Come on, Bessie.
Uncle Jed, what are you doing?
Making coffee.
Men ain't supposed to do that. That's what women is for. Here, Granny. Get busy.
Take it easy, boy.
But I'm hungry. I want my breakfast.
Boy, go sit at the table.
That's more like it. Here, Granny, I'll have a double helping everything.
There goes your typical pleasure-seeking male animal. You men is all alike. All you want to do is eat and get to your country club.
Country club?
Whilst us women stay home and slave. You is out shooting golfs, and tennis, martini on the rocks, and having steam saunas.
Jethro and me spends our days mowing the lawn, raking leaves, trimming the hedges, chopping wood, painting, plumbing, and repairing.
There you are. You was out having fun, whilst we is home slaving.
Oh, no, not again.
Good morning, male supremacist.
Good morning, oppressor of women.
Good morning, chauvinist pig.
Does this heap belong to one of you?
Yes, it's mine.
Well, all of you hop in it, get out of here, or I'll repossess it.
It's all paid for. It's mine, free and clear.
And we have a permit to picket here.
And as soon as the rest of the girls arrive, we will picket this bank from one end to the other.
That is what you think. Joe, Charlie, come out here. Bring your baseball bats. Now, I'll give you one more chance to disperse. All right, clear the sidewalk.
Okay, Susie. Gentlemen, would you care to try for broken arm?
Are you husky guards afraid of three girls?
No, just one of them. That's Susie.
Okay, I'm impressed. Now let's make peace. Come back to work for me, and you'll get a raise and a bonus.
Hooray!
Victory at last.
No, not you two, just Susie.
Just me?
Right. Forget these losers and work for me. You'll have a combination job as my secretary and bodyguard. You'll have a great deal. Just sign right here on the dotted line.
I thought we were going to have breakfast at our country club.
We don't belong to no country club.
Well, then where are we going to eat?
Right here.
Well, who's going to cook?
Looks like you're going to be one of us.
Okay. I'll have bacon and eggs, ham and grits, pancakes and sausage, lots of toast and jelly, and a side order of hush puppies.
You sure that's enough?
You better start me off with a big bowl of cereal covered with bananas and strawberries.
No steak and taters?
Okay, as long as you cook and throw that in too. And rare on a steak.
Get through. Get up from there. We're going to match pennies for this.
After breakfast, Uncle Jed, I'm too hungry to play games now.
You're going to match pennies to see who does the cooking. The other one will wash the dishes.
Okay, I'll match you.
Heads.
Tails.
You do the cooking, I'll wash the dishes.
Okay.
Call me when you're ready.
I'm ready for you, Uncle Jed.
What all did you cook?
Everything that was in the icebox. Ham hocks, a couple dozen eggs, side of bacon, grits, and I even warmed up the leftover pot roast and taters.
Them victuals smells good.
They tasted good, too.
You ate them?
Yep.
All of them?
Yep.
Then why did you call me in?
Well, now it's time for your half of the work. I done the cooking. You wash the dishes.
Look, Granny, Pa's home.
You and Jethro must have sneaked in the back way.
I reckon so. Ladies, can we talk for a minute?
What about?
Women's lib.
Is you for it or again it?
I'm for it. Now can we talk?
No use talking. The rights that we are seeking is, what is that again, Ellie?
Non-negotiable.
That means we gotta get 'em.
You got it.
You giving in, Pa?
Absolutely.
You surrenders?
Unconditional.
You admit that women's as good as men?
Better.
Does that mean that you, what is that again, Ellie?
Capitulates.
Yeah. Does you do that?
Whatever that means, I does it.
Well, Ellie, I reckon that means we has won.
Good. My hands is blistered from toting his sign.
Mine, too.
Well, what do you say we celebrate by fetching up one of them great big hickory smoked hams out of the root cellar and frying us up a mess of it?
That sounds good.
Yeah, this picketing gives me an appetite. To tell you the truth, Jed, it was mostly them girls down at the bank that got us tripped. What's that?
That's Uncle Jed's in my laundry. You forgot to pick it up this morning, Granny.
Jethro.
Now hop to it, and no starch in my collar this time. It's sawing my neck.
Jethro.
Oh, and here's some socks that needs darning.
Jethro.
And these pants needs patching. And Ellie, our beds ain't made. Now will you stop playing with that ape and get at it? You and Granny done wasted half the day.
Ellie, back to the women's lib.
Ellie, the boy didn't mean. He was just...
Boy, this is ridiculous. A Hollywood playboy washing clothes. If word was to get out to the Hollywood gossip columnists and fan magazines, I'd be the laughing stock of Schwab's drugstore.
What's that?
Well, that's kind of a meeting place for Hollywood celebrities. I hangs out there a lot, except when they runs me off.
Well, I don't think they'll be running you off today. By the time you get through washing and ironing, it's going to be tomorrow.
Jeb, have you ever thought what I might do if I was forced to continue this humiliating kind of work?
Oh, what might you do?
I might just run away from home.
That's the first ray of sunshine on a dark day.
Well, how are you superior male dictators doing?
We're doing the best we can.
Pa, you don't have to wash clothes like this. There's a washer right yonder.
We didn't know how to run it.
What do you think you're doing?
Darn it, socks.
Granny, look at this.
You ain't darning socks. You're ruining them.
I'm doing the best I can.
You'll have to walk awful pigeon-toed to wear these.
I reckon it will take a while for me to get the knack of it.
Granny, let's help Pa.
Only if he's ready to change his ways.
I'm ready.
Do you admit that men ain't superior?
I'll put it in writing.
Are you through grinding women under your heels?
Oh, yeah, no more of that.
Are you for women's lib?
Heart and soul.
All right, Ellie. You take over the darning. I'll finish the washing.
Yes'm, Granny.
Well, it's about time you lazy women was back to work.
Jethro.
Here, Granny. It's a good thing you's back carrying your own weight. I just about had it with you two.
Jethro.
Come on, Ellie. These men ain't learned their lesson.
Jethro.
Sure got dark all of a sudden, Uncle Jed. Hey, where's Granny and Ellie?
They got mad and left again.
Well, what did you do to upset them this time?
Welcome to the picket line, girls. Soon be joined by twice our number.
Girls, I would like to introduce my combination secretary and bodyguard, Bonsai Sakito. Now, I'm asking you once more to hop into that pile of junk and leave.
We refuse.
And my car is not a pile of junk.
Bonsai, show the young lady that she is wrong. Now, would you girls like to try for demolished heads?
Get him, Susie.
Onna ro kaiho undo wa yaburemashita.
What did you say?
I said, woman's lib is for the birds. Let's get out of here.
No sign of the ambulance yet?
Ambulance? Who needs an ambulance?
Oh, Jethro hurt himself.
Well, I'm a doctor. Why didn't you call me?
Well, you got more important things, Granny. This women's lib movement.
Nonsense. My own kith and kin is hurt. How'd it happen?
Well, he was scrubbing the floor, and he slipped in some suds and bumped his head, something awful. There he lays, Doctor.
Oh, that poor boy. Here, Ellie, quick. Mop up the rest of those suds so nobody else will slip and fall. I'll take care of this poor unconscious.
The trick worked, Uncle Jed. Look at old Ellie Mae mop that floor.
Jethro.
And Granny, there's lots of clothes that needs ironing. And then commence fixing victuals, because I'm hungry.
Jethro.
Come on, Ellie.
Jethro.
It got dark again. Hey, where's Granny and Ellie?
They got mad and left.
Oh, don't tell me.
Yeah, I upset them again.
You know something? I ain't too happy with you.
Really? Well, I'm tickled pink with you.
How's it going, boy? It's going terrible. This is wrecking my whole image. If someone was to take a picture of me like this, I'd never get into Harvard.
Harvard?
Yeah, you gotta have class to get in there.
Seems I've heard about that place.
Of course you have. Next to Schwab's, it's the classiest drugstore on Hollywood Boulevard.
Well, we see to it that nobody takes a picture.
Uncle Jed, is Ellie and Granny still picking?
I'm afraid so.
Well, I'm getting hungry. You aim to cook me something?
Well, I hadn't planned on it.
Well, gee whiz, I cooked the last meal.
You ate it, too.
Well, there you are. I'm doing everything. The eating, the cooking,
The scorching?
Huh?
You just burn a hole in your pants.
You was wrong, Uncle Jed.
Good.
They's your pants.
Tell me, boy, have you given any more thought to running away?
If one more thing goes wrong around here, I might.
Name it. Well, Mr. Drysdale, this is Jed Clampett. Tell me, Is them girls at your bank still picketing for women's lib?
No, sir. I put a stop to that foolishness. They are? Granny and Ellie? Well, leave them to me, Mr. Clampett. I have learned how to handle militant women. Yes, I'll take over from here. Bye. Banzai, we've got another rebellion to put down.
Oh, howdy, Mr. Drysdale. I mean, male supremacist.
Oppressor of women.
Granny, Ellie, I am here in response to a call for help from Mr. Clampett.
Oh, you gonna do the cooking and washing for Pa and Jethro? It sure will be good news for them.
The only thing I'm here to do is to put a stop to this women's lib foolishness.
It ain't foolishness.
I say it is. And Banzai will demonstrate the unquestionable superiority of men. Banzai?
Who's that goomer?
This is the #1 karate fighter in the entire world. Banzai, show this little lady how strong you are. No, not my car. Granny, what do you think of that?
I think he hadn't ought to done it. That was a good bench, and now it ain't worth shucks to set on.
He did that to put you in your place. Now, unless you stop this picketing, he's going to have to teach you a further lesson.
Well, he better hadn't.
Do you admit that men are superior?
No!
Banzai, destroy the other bench.
Oh, no, you don't!
Are you sure Mr. Drysdale's here to do our work for us?
Yes, sir, Pa.
Hot dog. I sure hope he can cook.
Who is that?
That is the #2 karate fighter in the entire world.
What happened to him?
He just met #1.
Where you all going?
We is leaving home.
Any chance of you taking Jethro with you?
No.
We's moving into Miss Jane's apartment with her.
Don't do that. There's plenty of room here.
Not since you and Mr. Drysdale fetched in that big bully to beat us up.
Some bully, you like to kill him.
Well, he had no business wrecking a good iron bench. You men is all alike. You gotta learn a lesson.
Bye, Pa.
Please, I'm begging.
No use talking. We's leaving.
What I'm begging you for is to take Jethro with you.
Johnny come Miss Jane in her dune buggy.
Hey, where's they going?
He's leaving home, boy.
Oh, what dim-witted thing did you do this time?
I don't know.
Thank goodness you got my giant brain to fall back on.
I could use something soft right now.
I'm sorry about this uncomfortable mode of transportation, but Mr. Drysdale's bodyguard destroyed Helen's car.
What'd he do, run into it?
He struck it with his hand and broke it in two.
That must be the goomer that busted up my iron bench.
Banzai's here?
Oh, yes, ma'am, Miss Jane. He's resting in the parlor.
Well, we better get out of here before he destroys the dune buggy.
No, he won't be doing no more destroying for a spell.
Granny clobbered him.
Banzai?
Yeah.
Why, he's a judo champion, a karate champion. He must have 5 or 6 belts.
I give him about 4 more.
Uncle Jed, this here is one example of how my giant brain operates. I have done come up with an idea that does away with iron.
Is them my long johns?
That's right. I figured out if he uses lots of starch and lays them out in the sun to dry, you don't have to iron them.
How am I supposed to get into these?
Uncle Jed, you're just going to have to do some thinking for yourself.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Wouldn't be fair to let you carry the whole load.
I also come up with an idea that does away with cooking.
How's that one work?
You do it.
I'm sorry, Banzai. I've got to get back to the bank. I'll talk to you later.
How's Mr. Banzai feeling?
Very humiliated.
Granny sure whooped the tar out of him.
Shh, please. He already feels that he's lost a lot of face.
Well, as I recollect, that ain't just a great big loss.
Now, I don't mean that literally. He simply feels ashamed because he was defeated by a woman.
That ain't nothing to be ashamed of. When Granny's riled, I've seen her drop a full-grown bull.
Heck yeah!
Well, Banzai is so disgraced, he doesn't want to show himself for a while. Can he stay here?
Of course he can. I'll go tell him.
Hey, Mr. Drysdale, can that bonsai feller cook?
No, Jethro, Japanese men do not cook.
Well, can he do the laundry?
No.
Well, can he scrub floors or make beds?
Jethro, Japanese men do not perform domestic chores. The women of their household do all the work. They wait on them hand and foot. In his own home, he is king.
Hey, how about me moving in his place?
I told Mr. Banzai he's welcome to stay here till he finds his face.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Clampett. Well, I'll see you later.
Uncle Jed, that fella can't cook, can't do laundry, can't scrub floors or make beds or nothing. You're making work for yourself.
Matter of fact, Jethro, he asked could he fetch his women folk over to take care of all that.
What did you say?
I said, sure, go right ahead.
Well, how about that? You finally done something right. You know, if you hang out with me long enough, you'll be as smart as me.
Well, thanks, boy. I'm really looking forward to that. Oh, excuse me.
Nice presentation.
Morning, Uncle Jed. What you doing?
Cooking us up a pot of mush for breakfast?
We don't have to do that no more nor nothing else. That bonsai fella's fetching over his Japanese women folk.
Yeah, they's going to take care of him, but that don't mean they's going to do for us.
Oh, yeah. He told me. He's going to wait on us hand and foot. And Japanese men don't have no truck with that women's lib.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, all you got to do is give them orders. See, I've been learning Japanese, so's I'll be ready. Listen to this. Kamikaze, Toyota, Sony, 0.
What does that mean?
Don't smack into my car radio with your aeroplane.
You reckon you're going to be saying that a lot?
Well, not a lot, but if I gives them an order right off, they'll respect me. See, Japanese women is trained to respect Japanese men.
But you ain't a Japanese man.
With me speaking her language so good, how's he going to know?
True, true.
Oh, gotta learn to eat with these, Uncle Jed.
What is they?
This is what you call chopsticks. The Japanese uses them instead of knives or forks or spoons. Watch, I'll show you.
Don't seem to hold a lot.
It's probably for meat, like them karate chops.
Reckon that's why they call them chopsticks?
More than likely. Boy, I can't wait to sink my teeth into them chicken fried karate chops.
Reckon there's anything like pork chops?
Oh, yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, looks like we're going to be eating high on the karate.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, sit down and have some breakfast.
Oh, no thanks, no thanks. I'm on my way to pick up the women of Banzai's household and bring them over.
Well, how is Mr. Banzai feeling this morning?
Well, he still feels terribly humiliated that Granny defeated him in hand-to-hand combat.
I'm sorry about that.
It was all I could do to get him out of his room. Well, I'll be on my way. Oh, by the way, have you heard from Granny and Ellie?
Not a word. I hope they's comfortable staying in Miss Jane's apartment.
Well, I'd hardly call it an apartment. It's more like a furnished room.
This bed was right nice to sleep on, but it sure does take up a lot of room.
Well, Miss Jane says after you take the bedclothes off, it folds up into a sofa.
No.
That's what she said.
Well, it ain't doing it.
Doing what? have to help it. Let's see.
Well, I'll be switched. What'll they think of next?
Oh, Bessie. You got your dress all dirty, climbing on that fire escape. Now, let's see your hands. I was afraid of that. Now, let's go get washed up. We'll be having breakfast quick, Miss Jane gets back.
See you.
Morning, Miss Jane.
Oh, good morning, Ellie. Sorry it took so long getting your breakfast.
Your kitchen sure must be a long ways from your bedroom.
About 3 blocks. Where's Granny?
Well, she was here a minute ago. Must have stepped out.
I didn't see her in the hall.
What you want, Bessie?
She's probably hungry. Here's your breakfast, Bessie. I thought they liked bananas.
They do. Bessie's trying to tell us something. What is it, Bessie? I think there's something inside the couch.
Well, let's see.
It's Granny.
Granny, how in the world are you all right?
Of course I'm all right, but don't trust this bed. I laid down on it and it gobbled me up.
I am terribly sorry. You've never done that before. I have some coffee and you'll feel better.
By the way, Miss Jane, where did you sleep last night?
In the Murphy bed.
Oh, I'm sorry you had to go and stay with friends.
No. It's in the wall. Come on, I'll show you. See?
You sleep standing up?
No, it comes all the way down.
I declare I never did see so many clever beds.
Well, we'll need them all when the other girls arrive. Oh, it's Helen. I told her to come up the fire escape. My rent here is based upon occupancy by one person only. Welcome, Helen.
Cheers, everyone. I'll need some help with my luggage.
I'll give you a hand.
Me too.
Bessie, I ain't never seen anything like these city beds. They sure are space savers. I reckon Miss Jane and Helen will share this one. I sure hope it's as comfortable as Ellie's and mine. Ain't bad at all.
Thanks awfully, Ellie.
Yeah, thanks, Ellie.
You're welcome.
I thought Granny was here.
She was. Granny?
She ain't here.
Bessie is trying to tell us something again. I wonder.
Miss Jane, if it won't hurt your feelings, I think I'll sleep on the floor tonight.
And here they are, Mr. Clampett, the lovely ladies of Bonsai's household. Enter, flowers of the Orient. This is Mr. Clampett.
Howdy, ladies. Mr. Bonsai, your women folks is here. You speak English?
Amico does.
We have great pleasure to be in the honorable house of Clampett, son.
What'd she call me?
Clampett-san. That's a Japanese title of courtesy.
Yokoso irashai.
They set great store by bowing, don't they?
Yes, they're extremely polite. Oh, I almost forgot about their luggage.
I'll give you a hand.
Hurrah, ladies! Me, Jeffro. Uncle Jeff, big hillbilly. But me, international playboy.
You wear a karate suit.
Sure. I just can't wait to have me a karate chop.
You want a karate chop?
I sure do, and right away.
Please do not ask for karate chop.
But that's what I want, and the sooner the better.
See you later, Mr. Drydale. What are they so excited about?
You are not supposed to do things for them. From now on, they will do everything for you.
Oh. Well, take them upstairs. Tell them to take any room they want. We got plenty empty ones. What's the matter, boy? Did you fall over the rail?
Oh, I asked them girls for a karate chop, and one of them slugged me.
Welcome to Women's Lib headquarters, girls.
Thank you.
Come in. Granny, Ellie Mae, Susie, and Betty.
Hi.
Now, you can hang your clothes in the closet as soon as Helen's through taking a shower in there.
She's taking a shower in the closet?
Well, it's too small to be called a bathroom.
We hang our clothes in the bathroom?
Well, you could also call it the den, the laundry room, the kitchen, and the spare bedroom.
Bedroom?
Yes, we're so crowded here, I'm afraid somebody will have to sleep in the tub tonight.
Miss Hathaway, I can't take my shower. There is a furry animal splashing about in the bathtub.
Oh, don't be alarmed. It's probably just Ellie's chimpanzee.
No, Bess is outside. Must be Frida.
Frida.
She's my possum. She just loves to play in the water.
I didn't know Ellie brought a possum.
Me neither. She must have had it inside her coat. They likes to sleep like that.
Well, Frida, you stay out of the bathtub when folks want to take showers.
Yes, Frida, please.
Miss Hathaway.
It's my landlord. Quick, everybody hide.
Where?
Where else?
Miss Hathaway.
Coming! Mr. Finney, I'm glad you're here. I have a complaint.
So have I. I heard a lot of voices in here.
Well, you most certainly did. It was the television set.
You haven't got a television set.
Well, that is my complaint. The walls here are so thin that the set next door sounds as though it's right in this room.
I don't hear anything.
Well, of course not. I made them turn it off.
I believe I'll take a look in there.
Oh, good. I hope you brought your tools. There's at least half day's work in there.
What?
Well, yes, the faucet leaks, the tub is stopped up, the shower doesn't work, the paint is peeling, and you have got to replace that worn flooring. It is dangerous.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm doing apartment 16 right now, but I'll put you right at the top of the list.
Oh, Mr. Finney, that is another thing. The neighborhood children peer in at me all the time. Go away, you naughty child. Go on.
No, I didn't get a very good look. But that's got to be the ugliest kid I ever saw.
Well, Mr. Finney, the situation is becoming quite intolerable. Ugly children, faulty plumbing, thin walls.
What was that?
I am glad you were here to see that with your own eyes, Mr. Finney.
What was it? What did I see?
Well, unless prompt action is taken, I shall be forced to call the Department of Health and Sanitation about the mice in this building.
That was a mouse?
Oh, what else?
I never saw a mouse look like that.
Perhaps it was something worse. I had better call the Board of Health.
No, that's okay. It was a mouse.
Well, Mr. Finney, what do you intend doing about it?
Well, I've got a cat. No, wouldn't stand a chance against a thing like that.
Goodbye, Mr. Finney.
Excuse me. Is Biddles almost ready?
Biddles?
as we say in Japanese, runch.
Oh, yes. Anything special you would like?
Well, I ain't gonna ask for no more of them karate chops. Don't you get uptight about that. But there's something else I heard of that I'd like to try.
What is it?
Judo roll.
You want a judo roll?
I sure do. You see, I'm an international prey boy, and I likes to experiment.
Please, do not ask for judo roll.
Yeah, but that's what I want. Heck, fire, I thought you folks were obliging.
Jethro-san, judo roll is not for ordinary person.
Yeah, but I'm not ordinary. I wants to try everything. Now, come on, let me have it.
What happened to you this time, boy?
I'll tell you something, Uncle Chet. Them Japanese is real polite. If you ask for some of them special victuals, then they beat the tar out of you.
Any more visits from the landlord, girls?
No. You scared him away for a while.
Helen, what in the world are you doing?
I'm getting some charcoal burning in this brazier.
Well, that is purely a decorative piece.
Well, Granny wanted to make us a hot meal, and that's the only thing we could find to cook on.
Oh, there is no cooking in this apartment, but where is Granny?
She and Ellie went out shopping for some victuals. That's food.
Yes, I know.
Let's try it, Miss Hathaway. This charcoal is smokeless, and I'm simply perishing for nice hot London grill.
Well, if I know Granny's victuals, they will in no way resemble a London grill.
We's back, girls.
Oh.
The fast is over.
Wait till you see what all we got.
You're gonna have a feast fit for a king.
Oh.
For a queen, Granny. Remember, this is Women's Lib headquarters. Let us not exalt the male image.
What did you bring? I'm starving.
Listen to this and let your mouth water. Salted down sow belly, owl gizzards, groundhog sausage, pickled catfish heads, and tenderloin of badger in gopher gravy.
I don't believe it.
That ain't all. Tell them what we got for dessert, Ellie.
Pawpaws with sorghum syrup, hedge apple turnovers, buckwheat pudding, and a nice ripe goat cheese.
What kind of market sells things like that?
You can't get those kind of delicacies in no market.
We went by home and sneaked into the root cellar.
Yeah, and we peeked through the window, and we seen Jed and Jethro, and they were having a miserable time.
Jethro had done fainted from hunger.
Yeah, he was laying on the floor in his underwear, and Jed had to help him to stand up.
Won't be long before they'll be yelling and screaming for us to come back home.
But we're gonna let them keep suffering until they knuckle under the women's lib. Well, I better get after the cooking. Where's the stove?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have a stove.
I started a fire in Miss Hathaway's brazier.
Where?
Right here, in her brass brazier.
Miss Jane, I hope you don't put that thing on hot.
Miss Miko, I ain't ever wore nothing like this before. It's mighty fancy for an old weed bender like me.
No, Clampett, son. You look very handsome. Very handsome. Please.
Well, what if I was to spill victuals on it?
You have no worry. You spill, Miko clean.
You girls sure is obliging.
Our pleasure to serve man. Please to be seated.
Is that a eating table?
Yes.
Looks like somebody sawed the legs off it.
No. It's Japanese table. You sit.
Well, hadn't I better wait for the others?
No, Clampett, son, head of household. Please to be seated and have sip of sake.
Sip of what?
Sake, our native wine made from rice. You taste.
Japanese white lightning.
Please to be seated. Miko will entertain while you wait.
all good in here. How soon is Vittles?
私たちわかりませんわ。
Oh, well, I reckon I can wait, but I'm awful thirsty. Hey, you got a sumo crush? You've heard of sumo crush. That's what the wrestlers over to Japan drinks. They's always giving one another sumo crush. It's probably like an orange crush or a lemon crush. You got any?
どうですか?
はい、大丈夫です。
Hey, Mr. Bonsai, you ever do any wrestling over to Japan?
Oh, yes.
Could you give me a sumo crush?
You want a sumo crush?
I sure do.
Please, do not ask for sumo crush.
Oh, come on, please.
You insist?
Yes, sir.
We step outside. It's better for sumo crush.
I sure do appreciate this. I won't forget it.
Not soon, I guarantee.
Well, I've got Granny cooking on the roof. I don't think the landlord can smell it up there.
I hope she doesn't set the building on fire.
Oh, no danger. As soon as you're finished with your laundry, come up and have lunch.
We're eating on the roof?
Believe me, Betty, Granny's cooking is best eaten out of doors.
I'll get it.
Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm the landlord.
Helen, guess who Miss Hathaway has for a landlord? Who? Cary Grant. Oh, Mr. Grant, you're even more handsome off the screen than on. Doesn't that gray hair make him look distinguished? Divine. And those eyes, those sexy eyes, they simply melt a woman's heart. Oh, Mr. Grant, you're my favorite star. My star of stars. Mine, too. Might I ask you to autograph my slip?
Who do you girls think you're kidding?
I beg pardon?
I don't look anything like Cary Grant. You know it.
Well,
Gregory Peck? Yes. Give this to Miss Hathaway, will you?
what is it?
It's a trap for her mouse.
Excuse me, girl, there's the phone.
Oh, no, Clampett. I get it.
Clampett Sam speaking.
Hello, Jed. This is Granny. Are you suffering?
Oh, yeah, I sure am.
Are you ready to knuckle under and give in to the women's lib? Have you learned your lesson?
Well, Granny, not yet. I think I ought to suffer a couple more days. Yeah, let's stay in touch. Don't call me, I'll call you. Bye. Sit down and have some breakfast.
Now, wait a minute. Is this Occidental swine going to have victuals with us celestial beings?
Jethro.
No, I am not. Mr. Clampett, I just came by to tell you that your bank statement and other financial reports will be a little late. As you know, I'm without a secretary.
I thought Mr. Banzai was going to fill in.
Karate experts make very poor secretaries. Every time he hits the keys, I have to buy a new typewriter.
Hey, Mr. Drysdale,
Us high exalted, glorious, sublime folks don't like to talk business while we eat.
Jethro, will you please be quiet?
Did you hear that? This lowly infidel done lipped off to my gloriousness. If we was back home to Japan, I'd have you tied to the ground and let the silkworms chomp on you.
Jethro, will you be quiet?
Now, he can say that. He's pretty near as glorious as I is.
Mr. Clampett, we have to settle this women's lib dispute. Miss Hathaway has every girl at the bank out on strike.
Yeah, I know. Granny and Ellie May throw it in with her, too.
Well, talk them into coming back home, and maybe that will...
Are you kidding? We're living high on the kimono.
Jethro.
Well, until these girls come along, I didn't know how sublime I was.
I'll talk to you later, Mr. Clampett. It's impossible to carry on an intelligent conversation in front of this cretin.
She's Japanese.
I'm hungry. Oh, what time is it? Helen, are you up? Yes, I'm up. Who's going to make breakfast?
Yeah,
me.
Girls, please, stop the chatter. My landlord will hear you.
Poor Miss Hathaway had to sleep on the floor. I sure hope it won't be this crowded tonight.
Oh, it won't. If we don't win the strike today, it'll be twice as crowded. But everybody, please try to remember to be quiet.
Miss Hathaway?
That's your landlord.
Everybody, get these bags all folded up. Everybody hide in the bathroom and be quiet.
Miss Hathaway, I hear people in there. Open up.
Just a moment.
Granny, have you seen my possum?
Yeah, she slept in the bathtub with me. Now, get out of the way. What's the matter, Miss Jane?
Oh, my zipper stuff. Will you help me to my feet, please?
Miss Hathaway, open this door. I'm coming in with my pass key.
Just a moment. Have patience. I'm busy.
Miss Jane, I'll have to cut you out of this.
Oh, there. The scissors are on the table.
Okay, you've had fair warning. I'm coming in.
Mr. Vinny, I consider this an invasion of my privacy.
And I consider it occupancy by more than one person.
Who are you?
Well, she happens to be my dressmaker, and this is a very, very personal fitting, so please remove yourself.
That's a dress?
Will be the very latest thing.
You're kidding.
Certainly not. This year we're trying for the sack look.
You made it.
Calm down. I got her.
Who's that?
That is the exterminator.
Exterminator?
Yes, good work. Take her outside immediately.
Be careful, Ellie.
Ellie?
L.A. She's from the L.A. Exterminating Company. Yes, they specialize in capturing large, vicious rodents.
They send girls to do that?
What's the matter? You don't believe in equal job opportunities for women?
He sounds like one of them male chauvinist pigs.
We should alert the women's lib movement. They'll throw a picket line around this apartment building immediately.
Now, wait a minute. Don't get upset. I'm not against equal job opportunities for women. When I need a plumber, who do you think I call? My wife. Boy, talk about touchy tenants.
What in the world is that smell?
Ain't it tantalizing? I'm cooking up a mess of my special swamp surprise.
Swamp surprise? What's in it?
Well, it's secret, but I'll tell you. It's crawdads, brisket of alligator, screech owl giblets, nice water moccasins, and other swamp critters, all simmered in a rich, hearty toad stock.
I'm sorry I asked. What I mean is, a secret should always remain a secret. But, Granny, you're not allowed to cook in this apartment. I brought some sandwiches and coleslaw.
Nonsense. You girls have got to have hot victuals.
Speaking of the girls, where are they?
Well, when I commenced cooking, they all went out the window.
I think I know why.
Me too.
They were so tempted by the smell they couldn't stand to wait.
Yes.
Guess what, Granny? We can smell your swamp surprise clean up on the roof.
I bet that's got them girls crazy. Shut the windows, Ellie.
Oh, no. Please, let the tantalizing aroma waft freely out the window.
Here, Ellie, you stir my stew, and I'll go explain to the girls what's taking so long. Cooking on that iron is going to take forever to get that gator meat tender.
Ellie Mae, please put a lid on that pot. I'll open the door and get some cross ventilation.
What's cooking in here?
I'm glad you asked. Insecticide.
Insecticide?
Yes, thanks to the resourcefulness of this young lady exterminator, this apartment may yet be free of crawling and flying insects.
Who do you think you're kidding? That's food you're cooking in here. No, I take it back. That's to kill insects. Anything else that gets a whiff of it? What's in that stuff?
It's a secret.
Come on, you can tell me.
Well, it's screech owls, alligators, water moccasins, crawdads, toads.
I asked what's in it, not what it kills.
Mr. Finney, the young lady just explained that the ingredients are a professional secret. Now, if you want to be helpful, let's spray it around the apartment.
No. I've got a respiratory condition. I'm sorry I bothered you. What's your dressmaker doing on the fire escape?
I've been up on the roof.
Smart woman. Don't blame you.
Ellie, I wish you'd go get your ape. She scampered all over the building, scaring the daylights out of everybody.
Yes, sir.
Miss Jane, this is going to take for hours. Sure wish I had it on my stove at home.
Granny! That is a marvelous idea. I'll bet Mr. Clampett and Jethro just love swamp surprise.
Well, of course. But these men, we got to make them suffer.
This will do it.
Oh, I see. You mean give them a whip and then don't let them eat none until they give in to women's lib?
Exactly.
Oh, that would be awful cruel.
All's fair in love and war, and Granny, this is war.
If Jethro gets into this, it won't last 10 seconds. Then you and the girls won't get none.
That's the price we pay for victory.
Let's go.
Meandering duck is awful good. But I have done ate my fill. Oh, man. I gotta take me a nap.
You like song?
Yeah. I don't know what you're saying, but I sure like what you're doing.
Just close your eyes. Have a happy dream.
You mean I'm not dreaming now? You girls sure do know how to spoil a man.
It's great pleasure for us.
I feel downright guilty. I ought to be out doing my chores.
You want us to stop so you can go do your chores?
No, I don't feel that guilty.
La la la, no yamamo satomo. You know, in Japan, from time she's very young, woman is taught to please man.
Beats me how them Japanese men ever get out of the house long enough to build all them cars and cameras.
Please relax now, Clampett-san. It's time for blissful slumber. じゃあ片付けてね、そろそろお昼寝の時間だから。
If that means good night, same to you.
Awaken to fragrance and beauty.
Granny, look.
Merciful heavens, it's Jethro. He's died of starvation.
Surely not.
He's laid out in a black shroud. And look, there's the bones of the buzzards that come to get him. Oh, with his last ounce of strength, the poor desperate boy caught him and ate him.
Now, Granny, be calm.
Well, leastwise, he went doing his thing, eating.
Granny, I feel sure that if you made a closer observation, you'd...
Oh, Jed, I forgot. He must be laid out here somewheres, starved to death. I'm too late. He's gone, too. Somebody sure laid him out pretty. Look at Jed. Laid out just like Jethro.
Granny, I took a closer look at Jethro. He is far from dead.
You think he can be saved?
Definitely, and so can Mr. Clampett.
Well, if anything can save him, it's my swamp surprise. I'll go get it to cooking whilst you look at Jed.
This has all the air marks of a Japanese tea ceremony.
Hey, Granny, what are you doing here?
Jethro, my baby! Oh, Jethro, my honey boy, you've been spared.
Please, Granny, you hurt my stomach.
Oh, I know how holler it must be. You ain't had no victuals since I left home.
Are you kidding? I'm stuffed.
Buzzards don't count. Here, let's get rid of this ugly shroud.
Hey, let go, Granny. This here is a genuine Japanese Okinawa.
Oh, you dear boy. You're delirious.
Ugh, what's that slop?
Oh, honey, you are talking out of your head. This is one of your favorites, Swamp Surprise.
I don't eat that kind of garbage no more. I'm a glorious, sublime, heavenly being now.
No, sweetheart. You were pulled back from the brink beyond. Now you go and sit down and I'll feed you.
Not that junk, you won't.
Jethro, go and sit down and be quiet. Or I'll have to ladle you back into your senses.
Oh, nuts to this. I'm gonna go take me another nap.
Starvation does terrible things to the human mind.
Granny, look who I found.
Is they undertakers?
Au contraire. These Japanese ladies have been caring for Jethro and Mr. Clampett.
Well, tell them to stop laying them out before they is dead.
Come and sit down. Let me explain.
It's the truth, Ellie. We thought your pa and Jethro was suffering. And all the time they was living the life of Sesshu Hayakawa.
Well, I have delineated the aims and principles of the Women's Lib movement to Miko here, and she in turn has explained it to her companions.
Yes, we have decided to join Women's Lib movement.
Oh, I can't believe it. You girls were born and raised in Japan.
I agree that it is against all our teachings. But Granny Senior persuaded us.
How?
She threatened to make us eat swamp surprise.
Actually, it was an offer, but they took it as a threat.
Well, now that the men have gotten a taste of that good Japanese life, how are we going to get them to knuckle under?
That good life can come in two flavors, Granny. Sweet and sour.
What you mean?
Suppose 3 different Japanese girls were to take over the duties of Miko and her companions.
I see what you mean. I can get us outfits like theirs.
あなた日本からいらしたんですか？
いいえ、だけど、私の両親は日本で生まれました。
You speak their language.
Yes, I am Nisei.
No fooling. Which one is your aunt?
Quiet, please. Hope it's not the landlord. Yes? It's Mr. Drysdale.
Oink, 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 oink.
What is it, male chauvinist pig?
You can knock it off with those cliches. You girls have lost. Now, do you want to come back to work under the old terms?
Never. You will just have to suffer without us.
Some suffer. I'm on my way to the Clampett now to have those Japanese cherry blossoms lay a little oriental ecstasy on me.
Oh, really?
You bet. Those girls never heard of Women's Lib. I may hire them as secretaries.
Miko.
How come you're answering your own door? Where's Miko?
I don't know. Her and them other girls have disappeared.
I can't find them no place, Uncle Celestial. Just my luck. Hey, idea.
I want to get in on the Japanese way of life.
You ain't Japanese. Now get Ross.
Jethro.
But he ain't glorious and sublime like us.
Ain't none of us gonna be glorious and sublime if them girls don't get back.
Maybe they went out shopping.
They's back. They's back. Hurrah, ladies! Hey, wait a minute. You ain't the same tree that was here before. Who are you?
私たちはいとこ同士なの。こちらのクランペットさんで働きたいと思っていますのよ。
What'd you say, Jethro?
Oh, I don't know. She speaks with a Tokyo dialect. I talk pure Ginza.
I say, we are cousins who also seek the sublime pleasure of serving in the honorable house of Clampett-san.
Well, dandy. Come on in the parlor and we'll sublime us up a storm.
I don't know about you two, but I thought that last dish was lousy.
It's Rousey. Rousey. See, I told you he wasn't Japanese.
I kind of liked it myself. If I didn't know better, I'd swear that was Granny's swamp surprise. Here comes the ceremony of the tea.
Come on, hurry up. Chop, chop, y'all.
Jethro, take it easy.
But the three of them is pitiful. Two of them ain't even pretty.
I'll go further. The tall one and the short one are downright homely.
Hey, Susie, these two speak English?
No, only Japanese.
Where'd you find those two dogs?
Now, fellas.
The little one here's got a face like a cantaloupe rind. She's not only ugly, she's clumsy, too.
Jethro, I don't want to hear no more of that kind of talk.
I'm your steam nephew, and I'm getting more steam by the minute.
Don't pay no attention to him, ma'am. Say, ain't we going to have some music?
Music?
Yeah, you know, singing, dancing, playing a Japanese banjo.
Yes, Clampett-san. Nanki-poo. Hite kudasai.
Mom.
That's lousy.
It's Rousey. Rousey. He ain't never gonna learn to speak Japanese.
Lousy, Rousey, it stinks.
I think I'm going to pass on the tea ceremony.
Are you leaving?
Yes, sir, I am. These Japanese folks set a great store by politeness, and that's something we can all learn from.
Please, Clampett-san, do not go.
Well, I'll tell you, ma'am, I've been kind of guilty about doing my chores all day. I think I'll get to them. I thank you, and thank your friends for me.
Mr. Clampett.
Let him go. Let him go. He old clodhopper. But me, I got craft. Now, come on. Shake a reg. Hit us with the tea and the music.
Granny, I beg you. Don't let Clampett-san take his money out of my bank, please.
It's trees.
Shut up, runkhead.
Shut up, both of you, and listen. Does you promise to knuckle under to the women's lib?
I does.
Me too.
From you, we're going to have it in writing.
Miss Hathaway went to the bank to type up a contract for you to sign.
Well, she called to say it would take a while. All she could find was 14 busted typewriters.
That bonsai will bankrupt me.
There's Miss Jane. Can we get up now?
Yes. Get up and answer the door for her. We gotta keep you men in your place.
Yes, ma'am. Who are you?
I'm the landlord.
Hey, it's the landlord.
Well, well, this is a very interesting situation we have here.
Mr. Finney! What is the meaning of this? Who are these people?
You're asking me?
Well, indeed I am. This is an outrage. I go to work and I come home and find you're throwing a party in my apartment.
I'm throwing a party.
From the looks of it, an Oriental orgy.
Look, I never had anything to do
I
with
shall
this.
be forced to report you to the Housing Administration, the Apartment Owners Association, and the Vice Squad.
Wait a minute. I don't know anything about this.
Ladies and gentlemen, Who is throwing this party?
Here!
Well, Mr. Finney, what have you to say now?
All I have to say is I'm cutting a rent in half, and so help me, I never will come near this apartment again.
Nice presentation.
She likes your mustache, Shifty explained. Pale-faced Tippecanoe. Shoshone too, Flo added rhythmically. She says you are a combination of Lincoln and Roosevelt, Shifty declared. That is right, Cayuga of her, Jed said, trying to use the vocabulary. Pale-faced Potawatomi. No, Potawatomi, Flo said, shaking her head vigorously. What was that? Jed asked. She wanted to know if you are a politician. Shifty lied smoothly. Tell her I am a farmer, Jed instructed proudly. Pale-faced Manitoba, Shifty translated. Tallahassee, Flo replied, nodding sagely. She is very pleased, Shifty said. Tell her I am a doctor, Granny chimed in, wanting to be recognized too. Pale-faced Squaw Zuni, Shifty offered. A Zuni, Flo nodded again. She is very impressed, Shifty told Granny. I did not get no Tallahassee out of her, Granny complained, noting the discrepancy in the fake language. Tallahassee, Shifty prompted Flo hastily. Tallahassee, Flo repeated obediently. That is better, Granny muttered. Saskatchewan, Flo announced, gesturing toward the ground. She has invited us to sit down, Shifty explained. They all sat cross-legged on the grass in front of the teepee. Well, maybe we better get down to business, Jed suggested politely. Ask her if she will sell me the White House property. I will do that, Shifty agreed. Tell her if she does, I will do my best to chauffeur her, Jed added earnestly. What? Shifty choked, coughing to cover his laughter. Take her into the White House, Jed clarified. Oh yes, Shifty recovered quickly. But, Jed, we have not been tooken ourselves yet, Granny reminded him practically. Do not worry, dear friends, Shifty assured them with a sly grin. Before this day is over, I promise you we will be thoroughly chauffeured. Suddenly, Flo began to moan and rock back and forth, chanting nonsense syllables loudly. What is Sitting Hawk doing in there? Jethro asked, alarmed. She is getting help from the spirits, Shifty whispered reverently. Well, she ought to lay off, Granny observed dryly. Sounds like she has had enough. Oh no, Shifty corrected her. She is contacting the spirits of her ancestors who have gone to the happy hunting grounds, asking their advice. I hope they advise you to sell me the White House, Jed said sincerely. First thing I am going to do is take them cannons away. Yeah, Jethro agreed. Looking down the mouth of a cannon every day must be awful scary. Not the Sitting Hawk, Shifty proclaimed grandly. She is fearless. Even General Custer could not drive her from this spot. He tried, did he? Jed asked, engrossed in the fake history. Rode in here with his cavalry, Shifty narrated vividly. Yelling, shooting, waving their sabers. But she never budged. Spunky little woman, Granny admired. Her bravery so impressed General Custer that he called her courageous adversary. Shifty continued spinning the yarn, a name which has stuck to this day. I would have called him a few names, Granny muttered defensively. Ah, Sitting Hawk got her revenge, Shifty noted darkly. She told her cousin Sitting Bull. You know what happened to Custer? Oh yeah, Jed nodded, understanding the historical reference. Flo suddenly reached into her blanket and produced a rolled-up piece of parchment, heavily stained with tea to look ancient. Waukegan, she grunted, handing it to Shifty. What is that? Jed asked. It is the deed to the White House, Shifty whispered in awe. Oh good, Jed smiled happily. Sitting Hawk, Flo began. Poughkeepsie, Paleface Wigwam, Sequoia, Manitoba. She has decided to sell the White House to the tall farmer. Shifty translated triumphantly. Oh, I am right, Tallahassee, Jed beamed, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment. Ask her how much she wants for it. Yucca lumpum. Uno a leg, Flo chanted, holding up one finger. She and the spirits have arrived at the price of 1 million, Shifty announced. Tell her it is a deal, Jed agreed instantly, without a moment of hesitation. Caracas, Shifty said to Flo. Venezuela, she replied, closing the fake negotiation. Write the check, Shifty urged smoothly. Oh, shall I make it out to Sitting Hawk? Jed asked, pulling out his checkbook again. Yes, but include the name bestowed on her by General Custer, Shifty instructed carefully. That is courageous adversary Sitting Hawk. Jed looked at the small line. I do not hardly have room for that. Just use the initials, Shifty suggested, exactly as he had done before. That is the custom here in Washington. Courageous adversary Sitting Hawk. Jed wrote carefully. Well, what do you know? Comes out just like the other check. C-A-S-H. Oh, what a coincidence. Shifty marveled with fake innocence. Is not Sitting Hawk going to get the money? Ellie Mae asked, worried for the poor woman. Of course, Shifty assured her quickly, but first I have to change it into beads for her. Here. Here is the Waukegan. He handed Jed the fake parchment deed. Armed with the deed and hearts full of triumphant joy, the Clampett family marched proudly toward the main entrance of the White House. The uniformed guard stationed there watched the strange procession approach with a mixture of confusion and professional wariness. Howdy, Jed greeted the guard warmly, extending his hand. Howdy. We are the Clampetts. This here is Granny, Ellie Mae, Jethro, and I am Jed. Howdy, the guard repeated cautiously, shaking Jed's hand. Can I help you folks? Oh no thanks, Jed assured him cheerfully. We are all able-bodied. The president is going to chauffeur us. I beg your pardon? The guard asked, utterly baffled by the nonsensical phrase. Can you keep a secret? Jethro leaned in confidentially. I think so, the guard replied warily. I percept the White House from Sitting Hawk, Jed announced proudly, holding up the fake deed. The whole fool of them. How is he going to give the president his Waukegan gift? Jethro added, trying to use the Indian word. And he will be right Tallahassee to get it, Granny confirmed happily. Well, we best ask Atcham for a supper table, Jed suggested, referring to the president. Hey, can we see the president now? Jethro asked eagerly. Just a second, the guard stammered, backing away slowly. I will, see if he is busy. He picked up the heavy black security telephone. Captain, Frank at the East Gate. The guard spoke urgently into the receiver. I got 4 dingalings here. Okay, but hurry. What did he say? Jed asked politely. He is sending a car for you, the guard lied, trying to keep them calm until help arrived. Oh shucks, we will walk, Jed offered generously. It is not but a couple 100 feet. No, the guard insisted, holding up his hands. You just stay right here. The president would not have it any other way. Well, that is real Cayuga, Jed smiled, using the fake word for friendly. Oh, he is very Cayuga. The guard agreed desperately, humoring the large, strange man. Do you notice anything familiar looking about Jed? Granny asked the guard, pointing to Jed's face. Should I? The guard asked nervously. He is Tippecanoe and Shoshone too, Granny explained proudly. Now that you mention it, he certainly is, the guard agreed rapidly, eager to avoid conflict. It is being Sequoia and having a ponderosa that does it, Jethro clarified, referring to Jed's height and mustache. But he is not no Potawatomi, Granny clarified quickly. Car is here, the guard announced with palpable relief as a large, dark vehicle with flashing lights pulled up. Look at that big, fancy limousine. Ellie Mae marveled at the ambulance. Yeah, we was not aiming to put on airs, Jed said humbly. But looks like the president will not have it any other way. He is going to get chauffeured in style. Yeah, Chattanooga, choo-choo, Jethro agreed happily, completely misunderstanding the situation as they were politely but firmly escorted into the back of the medical transport vehicle. He talks it real good, does he not? Jed whispered to Granny about the guard. Come on, everybody. The misunderstanding was eventually sorted out, though it involved a very confused psychiatrist. A frantic phone call from Mr. Drysdale in California assuring the authorities of the Clampetts' massive wealth and harmless nature, and a very swift time, Shifty argued passionately. Think big. I am thinking big, Flo retorted sharply. We could get 20 years apiece. Max, Shifty pleaded, using a pet name, I got those hillbillies in the palm of my hand. They are grapes waiting to be picked. How? Flo asked, her skepticism battling with her own greed. Well, I got $1 million for Smog. I will get $1 million for something else, Shifty schemed aloud. How? Flo repeated. I will think of something, Shifty muttered, pacing the floor. I will sell them the White House. Flo stared at him as if he had lost his mind. How? 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 You sound like an Indian, Shifty observed, stopping dead in his tracks. That is it. He pointed a finger at her. You are going to be an Indian. What? Flo gasped in horror. It is beautiful, Shifty laughed maniacally. They will love it. You are the last of the Columbia Indian. And so, the grandest deception of Shifty Schaefer's long and colorful career was born. He hurried back to the Clampetts' luxurious suite, wearing an expression of profound sorrow and tragic historical burden. And that, dear friends, Shifty concluded his masterful fabrication, is why the president is embarrassed to invite you to the White House. Jed sat in a plush armchair, leaning forward with deep concern etched into his honest features. You mean he does not even own the house he lives in? Jed asked, his voice hushed with shock. Not so much as a stick of furniture belongs to him, Shifty lied seamlessly, shaking his head in mock pity. That is terrible, Granny declared, her sense of hospitality deeply offended. No wonder he cannot ask us to stay. I would feel the same way in somebody else's house. Who owns it? Ellie Mae asked, her eyes wide. The White House stands on Indian ground, Shifty revealed dramatically. No, Jed breathed. Yes, Shifty nodded solemnly. This entire area was once occupied by the Columbia Indians. That is why, to this day, it is called the District of Columbia. Well, cannot the government buy it from the Indians? Jed asked reasonably. There is only one surviving member of the Columbia tribe, Shifty explained, lowering his voice, and she refuses to sell. She? Granny asked. Yes, the ancient and noble princess Sitting Hawk. What noble mean? Jethro interrupted. A proud and defiant woman. Shifty translated smoothly. Not all the pale-faced pony soldiers can drive her from the land she feels is rightfully hers. Why will she not sell? Jed pressed, wanting to understand the root of the conflict. Sitting Hawk does not trust politicians, Shifty said, tapping his nose. She says they speak with forked tongue. Well, cannot the president get her to sell the White House to him? Jed reasoned. Every chief executive since Lincoln has tried. Shifty sighed heavily. Lincoln? Granny asked, astonished. How old is she? Well, no one knows for sure, Shifty hedged, creating an aura of mystic antiquity. But at least 150. Indians do live a long time, Jed nodded wisely, accepting this impossible biological fact without question. She would not even sell to Lincoln? Ellie Mae asked sadly. Well, she likes certain things about him, Shifty conceded. The fact that he was tall, a simple man, humble, honest. I would say that Lincoln and Teddy Roosevelt have come closest to impressing Princess Sitting Hawk. She favored Teddy, did she? Jed inquired. Well, he was a rugged outdoor man, Shifty noted. She admired that. She liked his mustache. She called him Chief Hair on the Lip. Them two was the only ones that come close. Huh? Jed summarized. Yes, Shifty agreed. If there only existed a man who combined the qualities of both. Tall, simple, humble, honest, a rugged outdoor man with a mustache. Shifty paused, letting his gaze fall heavily upon Jed. You are describing Jed, Granny pointed out, entirely missing the subtle trap. One who had never been involved in politics. Shifty added the final bait. That is Jed, Granny confirmed proudly. Who? Jed asked humbly. Jed Clampett, Shifty announced softly. He is sitting right here. Now, Granny, Jed protested gently, uncomfortable with the high praise. By charge, I think she has got it, Shifty exclaimed, feigning a sudden revelation. Shucks, no, Jed murmured, looking down at his boots. Did you hear that? Shifty turned to Granny and Jethro. Shucks, no. Says everything. He is simple, he is humble, he is honest. He is tall and he has got hair on the lip. He is our man. Forget it, Jed said, holding up his hands. I cannot handle nothing as important as this. Mr. Clampett, Shifty said, his voice ringing with patriotic fervor, when Andrew Jackson, Old Hickory, was asked to fight the Battle of New Orleans. Do you know what he said? Forget it. I cannot handle nothing as important as this, Jethro guessed helpfully. Is that a fact? Jed asked, impressed by the historical parallel. But he won and you will win, Shifty declared. History has chosen you, and you cannot refuse. Do it, Jed, Granny urged, her competitive spirit roused. Then we are sure to get an invite to the White House. Well, I am not going to do it just for that, Jed stated firmly, his motives pure. Then you will do it? Shifty asked, barely containing his glee. Well, at least the president is mine. Least I can do is try, Jed agreed reluctantly but bravely. Spoken like a true patriot, Shifty applauded. I will take you to Princess Sitting Hawk and act as your interpreter. You talk Indian? Jethro asked, amazed. I learned as a child, Shifty fabricated effortlessly. The tongue of the Columbia Indians was the second language in our home. How come? Jed asked. Well, many moons ago my family befriended the tribe. When all other pale faces were against them, the Indians knew they could always find refuge in the home of a Schaefer. It was nice of your folks to take them in, Jed said approvingly. Our name has become part of the Indian language. Shifty continued his grandiose lie. Synonymous with hospitality. To this very day, to be taken in is to be Schaefered. An hour later, they stood on the edge of a wooded park area, looking at a highly unconvincing canvas teepee erected behind a cluster of bushes. Look, Jed. I think I see her, Jethro pointed. Is that her, Honest John? Jed asked, peering at the figure wrapped in a brightly colored, cheap souvenir blanket, her face smeared with thick, theatrical grease paint. Yep, Shifty confirmed solemnly. There she sits in front of her lonely teepee. The last of the noble Columbia Indians. The ancient and venerable Princess Sitting Hawk. Does she sit there all the time? Ellie Mae asked, her heart breaking for the lonely woman. Day and night, Shifty replied tragically. Winter and summer, rain or shine, she keeps silent vigil over home. You think they would let her stay in a White House, Jed observed, his sense of fairness offended. It is on her land. On the contrary, Shifty said, pointing toward the distant perimeter fence. Why, they have cannons to keep her out. Well, if that does not beat all, Jed said, shaking his head in dismay. Cannons to keep out a poor old 150-year-old Indian woman? You cannot hardly blame her for feeling spiteful. Is that why she wears all that war paint? Jethro asked. Would you not if somebody pointed cannons at you? Granny defended the princess fiercely. Now you have sympathy and understanding for her cause. Shifty smiled, seeing his hook set deep. She is going to like you. I feel it. Can we go talk to her now? Jed asked, eager to resolve the historical injustice. I will ask her, Shifty said, stepping forward with raised hands. She has agreed to a powwow. Shifty approached Flo, who was glaring at him through her absurd makeup. Chattanooga. Choo-choo, Shifty intoned seriously. Paleface Cayuga. Flo responded with a grunt that sounded suspiciously like a suppressed laugh. What did you say? Jed whispered loudly. I told her you were very friendly. Shifty translated. Good, Jed nodded. Paleface Sequoia, Flo chanted, getting into the spirit of the scam. She says you are tall. She likes that, Shifty interpreted. Paleface Ponderosa, Flo continued, naming another tree. He pulled out a small notebook. Now you are guard number 16. Escape gets a 1 rating. The president will be pleased. Now, do not be surprised if there is a little something extra in your stocking at Christmas. He took 1 step forward. Hold it, the guard growled, blocking him completely. Now look, you have proven your efficiency, my good man, Shifty said, his tone turning vaguely threatening. Do not press your luck. I may drop you to a B+. Just candy canes and bubble gum in your stocking. Beat it, the guard ordered sternly. Beat it? Shifty gasped in mock outrage. Cavil, 1 word from me and you will be guarding a government igloo in Iceland. I am going to count to 3. If you are not gone. The guard raised his hand to signal for backup. Never mind, Shifty backpedaled swiftly. I think my pigeons have just flown in from the west coast. And indeed they had. A large, yellow taxicab pulled up to the curb a short distance away, and the Clampett family spilled out onto the sidewalk, their eyes wide as they took in the majestic sights of the capital city. Danny, big house the president has got, Jed observed, looking at the iconic white pillars gleaming in the afternoon sun. Nice big yard, too, Granny noted with a critical eye. Lots of room for critters. Reckon he has got a garden and chickens? Ellie Mae wondered aloud. Likely, I would bet, Jed agreed. Well, here is all our stuff. Here you are, Mr. Taxi Driver. Thank you, Jed said, handing the man a generous tip. Now, tell me, what time is the next public tour of the White House? The driver asked helpfully. 3 o'clock. Granny remembered reading on a sign. Yeah, remember that, Jed told Jethro. I am going to ask questions later. Tell the president I will be there. Mr. Schaefer. Honest John. Jed called out cheerfully as he spotted the familiar figure striding toward them, looking remarkably prosperous in a tailored suit. Well, bless my soul, if it is not the Clampetts, Shifty exclaimed, acting profoundly surprised. What brings you to Washington, of all places? We are here to see the president, Jed explained simply, extending a large, calloused hand. We want to talk to him about the smog problem. We are going to help him get rid of the stuff. Shifty's eyes lit up with fake astonishment. What a coincidence, Shifty breathed reverently. He just appointed me chairman of a very special committee for that exact purpose. Jed smiled broadly. I am ready to give him my money if I just knew how. Another coincidence, Shifty proclaimed smoothly. Just happens to be the function of my committee. Are you lying? Jethro asked bluntly, missing the social cues entirely. I try to do my humble bit, Shifty said modestly, ignoring the boy. Shall I make out the check to the president? Jed asked, pulling out his well-worn checkbook. As a matter of fact, Shifty counseled gently, the check should be made payable to my committee. What is that? Jed inquired, poising his pen. Citizens Against Smog Horror, Shifty enunciated clearly. That is quite a lot to write, Jed noted, looking at the small line on the check. Just use the initials, Shifty suggested helpfully. Fine, Jed agreed. Citizens Against Smog Horror. Now, shall I make it for the whole 95 million? Shifty's heart hammered against his ribs, but he maintained a perfectly calm exterior. No, Shifty cautioned softly. That might be a bit hard to handle. What do you mean? Jed asked. Well, you see, Shifty spun his web of deceit masterfully. Other public-spirited citizens, not as wealthy as you, might be embarrassed and not contribute at all. Oh, well, we do not want that to happen, Jed said earnestly, his kind heart immediately grasping the logic. I am glad you understand, Shifty smiled. Give him $5, Jed, Granny advised practically. Lots of folks got that much. On the other hand, Shifty interjected smoothly, let us not go too far the other way. A little friendly embarrassment never hurt anybody. How about starting with $1 million? Excellent, Jed agreed without hesitation. Just the right amount to get the ball rolling. Jed carefully wrote out the massive sum. That is 1, naught, 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 comma, naught, 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 dot, naught, naught. Jethro recited, watching over his uncle's shoulder. Boy has got a great head for ciphers, is he not? Jed said proudly. He is a real knothead, Granny muttered. Well, there you are, Mr. Honest John, Jed said, handing over the fortune. I hope that primes the pump. Beautiful, Shifty whispered, his fingers trembling slightly as he touched the paper. The president will be delighted. Are you going to show it to him? Jed asked. At our afternoon meeting, Shifty confirmed. What time is that again, my good man? Shifty asked the heir pompously. 3 o'clock, Jed answered. That will be on time. I am a busy man. You must know the president pretty good, Jethro observed admiringly. Pals, buddies, Shifty bragged casually. Well, why do you not take us to the meeting with you? Jed requested eagerly. We would like to say howdy to him. And he would like to say hi-dee to you, Shifty replied, inventing a folksy greeting on the spot. Oh golly, Ellie Mae clapped her hands. However, Shifty paused, his face falling into an expression of deep regret. The Secret Service requires security clearance. Will that take long? Jed asked, undeterred. Do you happen to have birth certificates, color photographs, passports, and a complete set of fingerprints with you? Shifty asked rapidly. Why, no, we have not, Jed admitted, looking down at his simple clothes. Well, I am afraid it will take a while, Shifty said sadly. Meantime, I will put you up at a nice, comfortable hotel. Yeah. Shifty flagged down another cab. Taxi. The hotel suite Shifty procured for them was nothing short of breathtaking. A sprawling expanse of velvet, crystal, and mahogany that cost a small fortune per night. These are dainty fine accommodations, Mr. Honest John, Jed said, looking around the lavish sitting room with polite appreciation. Well, thank you, Mr. Clampett, Shifty replied smoothly, playing the gracious host. Here, let me show you something. He led Jed to the massive bay windows. Here you have a magnificent view over the entire city of Washington. Well, is not that pretty? Jed marveled at the monuments glowing in the afternoon light. Granny, believe me, Mr. Honest John is fixing us up real nice here. Well, it is all right, Granny said, crossing her arms and looking distinctly unimpressed. But it is not like staying at the White House. Sure is not, Jethro agreed, patting his stomach. They got a kitchen over there where a fellow can get a snack when he is hungry. Are we not going to get to stay at the White House at all? Ellie Mae asked, looking disappointed. Ellie Mae, do not pay no attention to him, Mr. Honest John, Jed reprimanded gently. He is acting awful pushy. Not at all, Shifty smiled indulgently. As soon as I have straightened out the matter of security clearance, I am sure the president and his wife will issue you a formal invitation. Oh boy, Ellie Mae cheered. Well, you tell them that they are not taking in a family of freeloaders, Jed insisted firmly, his pride demanding he pull his own weight. We will pitch in and help with the housework and the chores. I will make that matter crystal clear to him, Shifty promised with a completely straight face. We are glad of life to you, Jed said sincerely. Glad to do it. See you later, friends, Shifty waved, practically floating out the door. Back at his own secret hideaway, Shifty burst into the room where Flo was waiting. Shifty, baby, Flo cried out. How did it go? Like $1 million, Shifty laughed triumphantly. And here it is. He slapped the check onto the table. $1 million. Beautiful. Flo squealed, throwing her arms around his neck. I can have us packed in 5 minutes. Wait a minute, Shifty stopped her, a greedy light shining in his eyes. Where are we going? Mexico, Venezuela, you name it, Flo listed enthusiastically. Flo, Shifty said softly, his voice full of dark ambition. There are 94 more where this came from. Now, do not get greedy, Flo warned, suddenly serious. Let us take our million and play it safe. Baby, this is a chance of a life. Hey, Uncle Jed, we are going to Washington, Jethro yelled, running out of the house. We just got the message. What did you say, boy? Jed asked, stepping off the porch. We are going to Washington, Jethro repeated excitedly. The fellow in the white coat just brought the message from the president. Jed looked around the empty driveway. Well, where is he? Yonder he goes, Jethro pointed down the street. Ain't that the milkman? Jed asked, his brow furrowing in confusion. Being a milkman is what you call a cover, Jethro explained with the utmost seriousness. Cover? Jed repeated. He is really a secret agent for the government. Is he not? Jethro nodded sagely. Yeah. I learned all that stuff when I was a double-knot spy. Jed smiled at the boy's vivid imagination, but the logic somehow made sense in their simple, trusting world. Well, I reckon we best get packing, Jed decided. Should I convert my electric car back to steam? Jethro asked eagerly. No, Jed said firmly. I think we better fly. When the president sends for you, you do not want to keep him waiting. Back at the bank, Miss Jane marched into Mr. Drysdale's office with a grim expression. If he comes in, will you please ask him to call his office immediately? It is an emergency. Thank you, Miss Jane said into the telephone before hanging up. How do you like it, Miss Hathaway? Mr. Drysdale asked, appearing from the private washroom. Chief, where have you been? Shopping, Mr. Drysdale replied smugly. Any messages? Oh, just one. Miss Jane said, her voice dripping with impending doom. But it is a beauty. The Clampetts are leaving for Washington. What? Mr. Drysdale shrieked, all the blood draining from his face once more. They are determined to give their $95 million to the president, Miss Jane confirmed. We have got to stop them, Mr. Drysdale panicked. Get rich little back. You are kidding, Miss Jane said, staring at him. Huh? Here is a signed check, Mr. Drysdale said frantically, tearing a leaf from his book. He can make it out for any amount he likes. I will get up to the Clampetts and delay them until he calls. But it was too late. The Clampett family was already at the airport, causing a minor spectacle. I made it, Mr. Drysdale panted, skidding to a halt at the departure gate. They are still here. Clarence, Granny, Ellie Mae, Jethro. There is everybody. Oh, hello, Bessie. Is that for me? How are you? Mr. Drysdale babbled, trying to act casual as he approached them. Dear Mr. Drysdale, Jed said kindly, handing him a handwritten note. Please feed the critters till we get back. Aboard the luxurious commercial airliner, the Clampetts were a picture of innocent wonder. Enjoying your flight? A smartly dressed stewardess asked, pausing by their row. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Jed replied politely. We are going to Washington to see the president. We are going to give him $95 million. Oh boy, the stewardess smiled indulgently, clearly thinking it was a charming joke. You know the president? Talked to him this morning, Jed assured her. I am fetching him a baby possum, Ellie Mae added, patting a small basket on her lap. And I am taking him a jar of pickled pawpaws and some hand-slung chitlins, Granny offered proudly. We was going in my electric car, Jethro chimed in, leaning over the aisle, but I could not find no 3,000-mile extension cord. That is very interesting, the stewardess said, stifling a giggle. Young lady, how high would you say we are flying? Jed inquired, looking out the small window at the clouds below. A lot higher than the plane, the stewardess joked gently, moving down the aisle. The flight progressed smoothly, filled with the Clampetts' endless marveling at the miracle of modern aviation. I got the wind, everybody, Jethro announced later, pointing out the window. We are flying over a right pretty town. That there is Washington District of Columbia. Anybody see the White House? Jed leaned over to look. Appears to be lots of white houses down there, Jed observed thoughtfully. Would you fasten your seatbelts, please? The stewardess requested, making her final rounds. Yes, ma'am, Jed replied. We will be landing in a few minutes, she informed them. Are you going to feed us again before we land? Jethro asked hopefully. I am afraid there is not time, the stewardess apologized. You have had 4 meals and 3 snacks, Granny scolded Jethro lightly. Why, it makes me hungry, Jethro complained softly. But we are landing now, Granny reminded him. Landing makes me hungry, too, Jethro countered flawlessly. We go straight to the White House, Pa? Ellie Mae asked, bouncing slightly in her seat. I think so, Ellie, Jed replied, his voice calm and resolute. The quicker we give our money to the president, the quicker he can commence fighting smog. Sure, Jethro added, I will breeze him down for supper. I am starving. Jed, Granny warned, her practical nature asserting itself. If that boy takes his meals at the White House, the president's wife will never get out of the kitchen. I can help with the cooking, Granny offered. No, Ellie, Jed corrected, I will do that. You make the beds and do the dusting. And Jethro, you can mow the White House lawn and rake the leaves. Let Ellie do that, Jethro protested indignantly. The president needs me for my brain. Oh pooh, Ellie Mae teased. I will likely be in the East Room or someplace sitting on his cabinet, Jethro bragged. You keep your feet off the president's furniture. Granny snapped, lightly swatting his arm. Looks like we made it, Jed announced as the wheels touched down with a soft bump. The climate is on here. See you at the hotel. While the Clampetts were arriving with hearts full of pure, patriotic generosity, a far more cynical operation was taking place in a dimly lit, expensive hotel suite across town. The man known to the underworld as Shifty Schaefer, but known to the gullible as Honest John, was pacing nervously. Shifty, a woman's voice called out from the bedroom. His partner in crime, Flo, emerged, applying a thick layer of makeup. What if they do not show up? She asked, her voice tight with anxiety. They will be here any minute, Shifty assured her, his eyes gleaming with the predatory anticipation of a master con artist. I checked their flight. How are you going to get past the guard at the White House? Flo questioned, knowing Shifty's plan was incredibly audacious. I will handle it, Shifty promised with a slick smile. It is important for the Clampetts to see me coming out of the White House. Okay. Good luck, honey, Flo said, blowing him a kiss. Yeah, Shifty muttered, his mind already executing the elaborate deception. At the imposing wrought iron gates of the White House, Shifty strode forward with supreme confidence, flashing a fake leather wallet at the stern-faced guard. Jaffa, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Shifty barked authoritatively. Hold it, the guard commanded, stepping into Shifty's path. What is it? What? The president is waiting, Shifty blustered, trying to overwhelm the guard with urgency. What is it? I need to see your identification, the guard stated flatly, entirely unimpressed. You do not recognize me? Shifty asked, feigning shock. Nope, the guard replied. Good. Shifty pivoted seamlessly. I told you, Edgar, this was a perfect disguise. See you later. He tried to walk past again. Hold it, the guard repeated, his hand dropping to his sidearm. Look, Shifty said, changing tactics to righteous indignation, you are delaying high-level meetings. Now, what do you want? I want to see your pass, the guard demanded. My pass? Of course, Shifty patted his pockets frantically. My pass, but how do you know? I must have left it on the president's desk. I will go get it. He made another move toward the gate. Hold it, the guard said, his patience wearing thin. Now what is it? Shifty sighed exasperatedly. I cannot let you in without a pass, the guard explained slowly. Is that your final word? Shifty asked, narrowing his eyes. It is, the guard confirmed firmly. Excellent. Shifty suddenly beamed, slapping the bewildered guard on the shoulder. You have passed the test with flying colors. Congratulations. Now let me see. Looking at the empty truck bed. Yes, sir, Jethro beamed. Notice how quiet she is? No noise, no smoke. No smoke? Jed asked, impressed. She runs on electricity, Jethro revealed triumphantly. Well, doggy, I am real proud of you, boy, Jed praised him gently. Suddenly, a bank teller rushed out of the building. Pa, the presidents are calling you, the teller shouted, waving frantically. All the way from Washington. Jed looked surprised. The President of the United States is calling me? Yes, sir, Pa, the teller confirmed breathlessly. Upstairs in Mr. Drysdale's office, a masterful deception was underway. Mr. Drysdale stood beside a young man with a remarkable talent for vocal manipulation. Mr. Rich Little. They are bringing the old fellow to the phone, Mr. Little. Mr. Drysdale whispered conspiratorially. Is he not in a straitjacket? Rich Little asked, looking concerned about the supposed lunacy of the client. Oh no, he is not dangerous, Mr. Drysdale assured him smoothly. He just suffers from the delusion that he is worth $95 million. Rich Little whistled softly. No wonder he is in the funny farm. The whole family. You know, it is wonderful of you to look after them, Rich Little said, genuinely touched by Mr. Drysdale's apparent charity. They are very sweet people, Mr. Drysdale lied without batting an eye. Nothing but sweet. Hurry, Dan, do not keep them waiting. Down in the lobby, Jed picked up the heavy black receiver. Hey, tell them about my electric car, Jethro whispered loudly. Hello? Hello? Jed spoke into the phone. Hello, Jed Clampett speaking. Hello, Mr. Clampett. A voice boomed from the earpiece, a perfect, uncanny replica of the commander-in-chief. This is the president speaking. Is that sure enough you, Mr. President? Jed asked, his voice filled with humble awe. Oh yes, make no mistake about that, the voice assured him with practiced political cadence. I am the president. That is him, all right, Jed whispered to his family, who had gathered around in wide-eyed wonder. Now, Mr. Drysdale has told me of your generous and patriotic offer to donate your entire fortune to the fight against air pollution, the voice continued. Yes, sir, Jed replied earnestly, it is only $95 million. But you are sure welcome to it. And we will bring it right to you right there in the White House. The whole family. This here is Granny, Mr. President. Granny leaned toward the phone. I will bring you some pickled pawpaws and some hand-slung chickens, she shouted happily. Mr. President, this here is Ellie Mae, Jed continued the introductions. Would you like a nice little baby possum to play with? Ellie Mae asked the receiver sweetly. My nephew Jethro is not here to say howdy, but he is going to drive us all the way to Washington in his brand new invention, the electric car. Jed finished proudly. There was a frantic pause on the other end of the line. No, do not come to Washington, the voice of the president insisted rapidly. We have got enough people like you here already. You public-spirited citizens, Well, how do we get the money to you? Jed asked, eager to help. Well, I am glad you asked me that, the voice said, shifting to a tone of utmost importance. I want to make this point very clear. What is the point I want to make very clear? Leave your money in the bank, the Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills, where it will draw maximum interest, a compounded semi-annual, in the care of your wise and friendly banker, Milburn Drysdale. Jed nodded, accepting the wisdom of the leader of the free world without question. Well, naturally, we will do whatever you say, Mr. President. But the family is going to be awful disappointed. We was hoping to get away to Washington. Oh no, do not try to get away, the voice pleaded. You will stay right there and do what the nice man in the white coat tells you. Goodbye. Goodbye, Jed replied softly, hanging up the phone. What did he say, Jed? Granny asked, her face falling. He said he does not want us to come to Washington right now, Jed explained gently. Well, what are we supposed to do, Pa? Ellie Mae asked, a pout forming on her pretty face. He says he is going to send a man in a white coat to tell us. Jed relayed the strange instruction. Jethro, who had just walked in, looked crestfallen. Jethro, Jed said, placing a comforting hand on the boy's massive shoulder. I just talked to the president, and we will not be driving to Washington in your electric car. Just as well, Uncle Jed, Jethro admitted sheepishly. I never found an extension cord long enough to get us there. Up in the executive suite, Mr. Drysdale was practically dancing with joy. Mr. Little, that was a magnificent performance, Mr. Drysdale cheered, pumping the young man's hand. Thank you, Rich Little replied modestly. Well, your impersonation of the president was absolutely incredible. Mr. Drysdale continued his effusive praise. Thank you, Rich Little said again. I hope to see you again sometime. Take good care of yourself. As Rich Little turned to leave, he paused. Mr. Drysdale, are you not forgetting something? Oh, what is that? Mr. Drysdale asked innocently. My fee, Rich Little reminded him politely. Oh, yes, yes. How much is it? Mr. Drysdale asked, pulling out his checkbook with extreme reluctance. Well, ordinarily, I receive $7,500 for a performance. However, in this case, I will cut it in half. How is $3,750? $3,750 it is, Mr. Drysdale muttered, his heart aching as he wrote the numbers. 20, 40. Now, you owe me $2.50, Mr. Drysdale calculated, trying to squeeze every penny. No, that is $3,750, Rich Little corrected firmly. A 5 minutes' work? Mr. Drysdale complained bitterly. The president does not get that much, and he is the real thing. Excuse me, Chief, Miss Jane interrupted, walking into the office with a stack of papers. These foreclosures are ready. She stopped dead in her tracks, her eyes widening behind her glasses as she recognized the young man. Are you not Rich Little, the impressionist? Yes, I am, he smiled charmingly. Oh, Mr. Little, I just love your impression of John Wayne, Miss Jane gushed, completely abandoning her usual professional demeanor. Huh? Well, thank you very much, ma'am, Rich Little responded, instantly shifting his posture and dropping his voice into the iconic, slow drawl of the legendary cowboy. Now, let me say that if we had girls like you out on the trail, I never would have given my horse a second look. Oh, that is marvelous, Miss Jane squealed in delight. Thank you, Rich Little said in his normal voice. Hey, and your Ed Sullivan is an absolute classic, Miss Jane continued, completely starstruck. Oh, Ed Sullivan? Wonderful, Rich Little said, immediately hunching his shoulders, crossing his arms, and spinning around to face her with a stiff, formal expression. Would you do me a favor there, young sir? Would you come on our show next Sunday night and bring your stuffed giraffe? Yes, I would love to have you. What else are you going to have on the show? Miss Jane played along enthusiastically. A World War I with the original cast, Rich Little deadpanned as Sullivan. In living color with a surprise ending. Oh, isn't he fabulous? Miss Jane laughed, turning to her boss. He certainly is, Mr. Drysdale muttered grimly. It has been a real pleasure, Rich Little said, preparing to depart again. Wait a minute, Mr. Drysdale interjected sharply. You are forgetting something again. Oh yes, you will see, Rich Little said, looking confused. What are you charging her for Wayne and Sullivan? Mr. Drysdale demanded. Oh, nothing, Rich Little laughed. I will accept the same arrangement, Mr. Drysdale declared triumphantly. Watch this. Back at the Clampett mansion, the disappointment was palpable. Do not leave no milk for a spell, Jed instructed the milkman who was walking up the driveway. We are going to Washington, Granny announced cheerfully, recovering her usual optimism. Yeah. Well, you are going to Washington, the milkman said politely, placing the glass bottles on the porch. We are? Granny asked, surprised. That is what the message says. Have a good trip, the milkman called over his shoulder as he walked away. Drysdale lied smoothly, hoping to deter Jed from giving the cash to a local con man. Why, this $700,000 is not even a drop in the bucket. Jed stroked his chin thoughtfully. Well, how much does the president need? Oh, millions, billions, Mr. Drysdale exaggerated wildly. So I will just take this chicken feed back to the bank. Jed held up a hand. I will study on it, Mr. Drysdale. Mr. Drysdale slumped. No, give up, Chief. No. Hold it, Hathaway, Mr. Drysdale snapped, his anger redirecting. I am not through with you. What now? Miss Jane asked tiredly. You are guilty of conduct unbecoming an employee of the Commerce Bank, Mr. Drysdale proclaimed. Oh, big deal, Miss Jane deadpanned. For cowardice in the face of action, Mr. Drysdale continued grandly. For failure to obey a direct order. For treachery and insubordination. You are hereby dishonorably discharged as a guard and reduced to the rank of secretary. Hallelujah! Miss Jane rejoiced, tearing the badge off her uniform. Do not expect a Christmas bonus this year, Mr. Drysdale threatened. I have never had a Christmas bonus, Miss Jane pointed out logically. Well, do not expect one this year either, Mr. Drysdale retorted. Now go get the truck. Miss Jane stepped out the front door and immediately began to cough. Boy, what have you done to that truck? Mr. Drysdale demanded, following her out and waving his hands wildly to clear the thick black smoke. It looks like the boob has set it on fire. Jethro emerged from the cloud of smoke, covered in soot but grinning from ear to ear. Jethro, what did you do? Jed asked, mildly concerned. I converted this rascal to steam, Jethro announced proudly. You are looking at the answer to air pollution by automobile. The Jethro Bodine steam car. I have perfected a clean engine. Mr. Drysdale coughed violently, his eyes watering. I am going back inside. I told you that for this clean engine joke. Back inside the grand living room, the air was clear, and Jed was deep in thought. Uncle Jed, Jethro said, wiping a smudge of soot from his forehead. Honest John is not going to be needing his money anymore now that I have whipped the smog problem. So I will use it to mass-produce my steam car. Hold on, boy, Jed cautioned gently. According to Mr. Drysdale, only the president himself can handle a smog problem. Jethro looked amazed. The President of the United States? That is right, Jed confirmed. He is the only one that can bring together the brains and the money. Jethro puffed out his chest once more. Well, here stands the whole kit and caboodle. I will hop on my steam car, drive to Washington, pull up in front of the White House, and give him the brains and the money. All in one package. Hold on, boy, Jed repeated, looking at the sack of cash. What you got there is just a drop in the bucket. And it is not likely enough money either. Granny trotted into the room, having finished her dusting. Talking about the money, Granny, Jed began. Mr. Drysdale says the president will need millions, even billions. I was thinking of giving him all my money. Granny nodded enthusiastically. Okay, I will stop by the bank and get the rest of it. Well, Pa, Ellie Mae chimed in, stepping gracefully down the grand staircase. If Jethro goes to Washington, I want to go too. And they are not going without me, Granny added firmly. I was just coming to that, Jed said, a wide, loving smile spreading across his face. I think it would be a fine trip for the whole family. I best go leave a note for the milkman. Tell him we are going to Washington. Meanwhile, back at the Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills, Mr. Drysdale was sitting behind his massive mahogany desk, dictating a letter to Miss Jane with a tone of utter ruthlessness. And since you have failed to make your final payment promptly, we are forced to repossess your automobile. Sincerely, your friendly banker, Milburn Drysdale. Miss Jane stopped typing and looked up, her expression one of profound disbelief. Chief, you are telling your own brother you are repossessing his car? Well, that is a little cold, is it not? Mr. Drysdale shrugged, completely devoid of empathy when it came to finances. Add a postscript, he ordered. Regards to Betty and the babies. Miss Jane shook her head in disgust as the private office door buzzed. Yes, who is it? Mr. Drysdale barked into the intercom. It is me, Mr. Drysdale. Jed Clampett's cheerful voice echoed through the speaker. I fetched you back your sack of chicken feed. Mr. Drysdale leaped from his leather chair, practically flying across the room to throw open the door. Oh, bless you, Mr. Drysdale wept, dropping to his knees to embrace the heavy sack of cash that Jed easily carried in one hand. Jed looked down at the banker with mild amusement. Quite happy to get it, is he not? Jed remarked to Miss Jane. No chicken could be happier, Miss Jane agreed dryly. I studied on what you said about letting the president fight the smog, Jed explained, setting the sack down gently. Wonderful, Mr. Drysdale breathed, still stroking the canvas bag. The cashier tells me that, counting this, I got right at 95 million in your bank now. Jed stated casually as if discussing the weather. Wonderful, Mr. Drysdale repeated, blinded by the sheer magnitude of the number. So, Jed concluded we are going to take it all to Washington and give it to the president. The color drained instantly from Mr. Drysdale's face. He froze, a statue of pure, unadulterated panic. Mr. Clampett, you cannot give all your money to the president. Why not? Jed asked, genuinely puzzled. Oh, because it... Mr. Drysdale stammered, his mind racing for a plausible lie. Miss Hathaway, tell them why not. Miss Jane adjusted her glasses. Why not? She asked blandly. Not that way, explain it, Mr. Drysdale pleaded frantically. Mr. Clampett, it is your money, Miss Jane stated with absolute professional integrity. You may do with it as you wish. Mr. Drysdale glared at her. Who asked you to butt in? You did, Miss Jane reminded him. Well, butt out, Mr. Drysdale snapped. Now, Mr. Clampett, he began, his voice dripping with false concern. This will take time. Government red tape, internal revenue, Secret Service, White House clearance. Now, I will work it out and call you. Jed nodded agreeably. Well, I would appreciate it if you would hurry, because we would like to get started. Right away, Mr. Drysdale promised, ushering Jed toward the door. Oh, Jed paused, turning back, and you do not have to give us the 95 million in cash. I reckon the president will take a check. Well, I will discuss it with him, Mr. Drysdale lied desperately. I will let you know. As soon as the heavy office door clicked shut, Mr. Drysdale collapsed against it. Miss Hathaway, you have got to help me, he whimpered. If they take their money out of my bank, I am ruined. I have got nothing to live for. Oh, now, Chief, Miss Jane tried to soothe him, though her sympathy was limited. A suicide note that will stop them, Mr. Drysdale decided, his eyes gleaming with a mad inspiration. Here, take this notepad. Mr. Clampett, because you are withdrawing your money, my death is on your hands. Chief, no, Miss Jane protested. Now, Mr. Drysdale commanded. Tie that up, pin it to your dress, and throw yourself out the window. Miss Jane stared at him, utterly appalled. Me? She asked, her voice dangerously quiet. They love you, Mr. Drysdale rationalized smoothly. This will teach them a great lesson. Thanks, but no thanks, Miss Jane replied, turning on her heel. I promise. This is the last favor I will ever ask, Mr. Drysdale begged. Forget it, Miss Jane stated firmly. What? Mr. Drysdale challenged. If you are too chicken to throw yourself out the window, I will do it. All right, come over here, Miss Jane said, gesturing toward the large pane of glass overlooking the street. I cannot throw you out from there, Mr. Drysdale whined, backing away. What? What is all the honking for? Boy. Down in the bank's parking lot, the source of the noise became clear. Jed had wandered down to find Jethro sitting proudly behind the wheel of their battered truck. I have come up with an invention that beats steam, Jethro announced, his chest puffed out with pride. Yeah, I see the boiler is gone, Jed noted, had requested. Paleface Manitoba, Shifty translated back to Flo. Ah, Tallahassee, Flo nodded in approval. She is very pleased, Shifty smiled. Tell her I am a doctor, Jethro chimed in proudly. Paleface Squaw Zuni, Shifty conveyed. Ah, Zuni, Flo nodded again. She is very impressed, Shifty assured them. I did not get no Tallahassee out of her, Jethro complained, feeling left out. Tallahassee, Tallahassee. Flo repeated quickly to appease him. That is better, Jethro beamed. Sass, Catchawan. Flo gestured to the ground. She has invited us to sit down, Shifty explained, motioning for the Clampetts to join the circle. Jed folded his long legs beneath him onto the grass. Well, maybe we better get down to business. Ask her if she will sell me the White House property. I will do that, Shifty promised. Tell her if she does, I will do my best to chauffeur her, Jed added earnestly. What? Shifty choked slightly on his own joke. Take her into the White House. Oh yes, yes. But, Jed, we ain't been tooken ourselves yet, Granny reminded him practically. Do not worry, dear friends, Shifty smiled wickedly. Before this day is over, I promise you we will be thoroughly chauffeured. Flo closed her eyes and began to hum loudly, swaying back and forth. What is Sitting Hawk doing in there? Jethro asked, watching her intently. She is getting help from the spirits, Shifty whispered reverently. Well, she ought to lay off, Granny observed dryly. Sounds like she has had enough. Oh no, Shifty corrected her. She is contacting the spirits of her ancestors who have gone to the happy hunting grounds, asking their advice. Jed watched her with profound respect. I hope they advise you to sell me the White House. First thing I am going to do is take them. Cannons away. Yeah, Jethro agreed. Looking down the mouth of a cannon every day must be awful scary. Not to Sitting Hawk, Shifty declared dramatically. She is fearless. Even General Custer could not drive her from this spot. He tried, did he? Jed asked, fascinated by the history. Rode in here with his cavalry, yelling, shooting, waving their sabers. But she never budged. Spunky little woman, Granny noted with admiration. A bravery so impressed General Custer that he called her courageous adversary, a name which has stuck to this day. Shifty wove the lie deeper. I would have called him a few names, Granny muttered. Ah, Sitting Hawk got her revenge. She told her cousin Sitting Bull. You know what happened to Custer? Shifty winked. Oh yeah, Jed nodded solemnly. Flo suddenly opened her eyes and pulled a rolled-up piece of parchment from inside her coat. Waukegan. What is that? Jed asked, looking at the dirty paper. It is the deed to the White House, Shifty explained, barely able to contain his excitement. Oh good, Jed smiled. Sitting Hawk, Poughkeepsie, Paleface Wigwam, Sequoia, Manitoba, Flo chanted, holding the paper out. She has decided to sell the White House to the tall farmer, Shifty translated triumphantly. Oh, I am right, Tallahassee, Jed beamed. Ask her how much she wants for it. Yucca lumpum, uno a leg, Flo demanded softly. She and the spirits have arrived at the price of $1 million, Shifty announced smoothly. Tell her it is a deal, Jed agreed without a second thought. Caracas, Venezuela. Flo cheered slightly, breaking character for a moment before Shifty shot her a warning glare. Write the check, Shifty urged, handing Jed a pen. Jed pulled out his worn checkbook once again. Oh, shall I make it out to Sitting Hawk? Yes, but include the name bestowed on her by General Custer, Shifty instructed carefully. That is courageous adversary Sitting Hawk. Jed looked at the small line on the check. I do not hardly have room for that. Just use the initials. That is the custom here in Washington. Courageous adversary Sitting Hawk. Jed began to write. Well, what do you know? Comes out just like the other check. C-A-S-H cash. Oh, what a coincidence. Shifty smiled, taking the freshly signed $1 million check. Ain't Sitting Hawk going to get the money? Jethro asked, watching Shifty pocket the slip of paper. Of course, Shifty assured him quickly. But first I have to change it into beads for her. Here is the Waukegan you get. He handed the dirty parchment to Jed. Back at the majestic White House gates, the stern guard named Jaffa stood at his post. A long, black limousine pulled up smoothly to the curb. The tinted windows rolled down, and the Clampett family peered out. Jed leaned his head out the window. "Howdy." "Howdy," Jaffa replied suspiciously, noting their rustic attire. "Can I help you folks?" "Oh, no thanks. We are all able-bodied," Jed assured him. "The president is going to chauffeur us." "I beg your pardon?" Jaffa asked, utterly confused. Jed leaned in closer, dropping his voice to a whisper. "Can you keep a secret?" "I think so," the guard replied warily. "I percept the White House from Sitting Hawk, the whole fool of them. How is he going to give the president his Waukegan gift? And he will be right Tallahassee to get it." The guard stared at him blankly. "Well, we best ask him for a supper table." "Hey, can we see the president now?" Jethro asked eagerly from the back seat. Jaffa stepped back into his booth and picked up a heavy black telephone. Just a second. I will, see if he is busy." He dialed a number quickly. "Captain Jaffa at the East Gate. I got 4 ding-a-lings here." He listened for a moment. "Okay, but hurry." He hung up the phone and walked back to the limousine. "What did he say?" Jed asked politely. "He is sending a car for you," Jaffa answered carefully. Jed looked mildly disappointed. "Oh shucks, we will walk. It ain't but a couple 100 feet." No. You just stay right here," Jaffa insisted firmly, stepping in front of the car door. "The president would not have it any other way." "Well, that is real Cayuga," Jed nodded approvingly. "Oh, he is very Cayuga," the guard agreed, not knowing what else to say. Inside the limousine, Granny leaned over to Jethro. "Do you notice anything familiar looking about Jed?" "Should I?" Jethro asked, confused. "He is Tippecanoe and Shoshone too. Now that you mention it, he certainly is. It is being Sequoia and having a Ponderosa that does it." "But he ain't no Potawatomi," Jethro noted proudly. A large, white ambulance with flashing red lights pulled up behind the limousine. 2 men in crisp white coats stepped out, looking grim and determined. "Car is here," Jaffa announced, gesturing to the ambulance. Jed looked back at the strange vehicle. "Look at that big, fancy limousine." "Yeah, we was not aiming to put on airs. But looks like the president will not have it any other way." Granny sighed comfortably. "He is going to get chauffeured in style." "Yeah, Chattanooga. Choo-choo," Jed smiled, stepping out of the limousine and toward the men in white coats. "He talks it real good, does he not? Come on, everybody." Hours later, Shifty Schaefer sat in his luxurious hotel suite, nursing a glass of fine scotch. The door burst open, and Jed Clampett walked in, looking slightly ruffled but calm as ever. "You wanted to see me, Mr. Clampett?" Shifty asked, startled by his sudden appearance. "Yes, sir, Mr. Honest John," Jed nodded slowly. "We had us a kind of a bad experience. Here, in my town, Washington, District of Columbia." Shifty, "I will think of something." He paused, looking out the window toward the distant white dome of the Capitol. "I will sell them the White House." Flo stared at him. How? You sound like an Indian." A broad, wicked smile spread across Shifty's face. "That is it. You are going to be an Indian." "What?" "It is beautiful. They will love it. You are the last of the Columbia Indians." An hour later, Shifty returned to the Clampetts' extravagant suite, wearing a solemn expression that masked his deceitful joy. "And that, dear friends, is why the president is embarrassed to invite you to the White House," Shifty explained sadly to the gathered family. "You mean he does not even own the house he lives in?" Jed asked, profoundly shocked by this revelation. "Not so much as a stick of furniture belongs to him," Shifty nodded gravely. Granny shook her head in sympathy. That is terrible. No wonder he cannot ask us to stay. I would feel the same way in somebody else's house. Who owns it? Jed inquired. Shifty leaned forward, his voice dropping to a theatrical whisper. The White House stands on Indian ground. No, Jed breathed. Yes, this entire area was once occupied by the Columbia Indians. That is why, to this day, it is called the District of Columbia. Jed digested this piece of fake history. Well, cannot the government buy it from the Indians? There is only one surviving member of the Columbia tribe, and she refuses to sell. Shifty explained sadly. She? Yes, the ancient and noble princess Sitting Hawk. What does noble mean? Jethro whispered to Ellie Mae. A proud and defiant woman, Shifty continued smoothly, ignoring the boy. Not all the pale-faced pony soldiers can drive her from the land she feels is rightfully hers. Why will she not sell? Jed asked, feeling a deep kinship for anyone protecting their land. Sitting Hawk does not trust politicians. She says they speak with forked tongue, Shifty explained. Well, cannot the president get her to sell the White House to him? Jed wondered aloud. Every chief executive since Lincoln has tried, Shifty sighed. Lincoln, Granny gasped. How old is she? Well, no one knows for sure, but at least 150 years old. Indians do live a long time, Shifty said quickly, covering his tracks. She would not even sell to Lincoln? Jed asked, amazed. Well, she likes certain things about him, Shifty noted casually. The fact that he was tall, a simple man, humble, honest. I would say that Lincoln and Teddy Roosevelt have come closest to impressing Princess Sitting Hawk. She favored Teddy, did she? Jed asked. Well, he was a rugged outdoor man. She admired that. She liked his mustache. She called him Chief Hair on the lip. Jed stroked his own facial hair thoughtfully. Them two was the only ones that come close, huh? Yes, if there only existed a man who combined the qualities of both. Shifty mused aloud, staring directly at Jed. Tall, simple, humble, honest. A rugged outdoor man with a mustache. One who had never been involved in politics. Granny's eyes widened. That is Jed. Who? Shifty asked, feigning ignorance. Jed Clampett. He is sitting right here. Now, Granny. Jed waved his hands modestly. By charge, I think she has got it. Shucks, no. Shifty pointed a triumphant finger at Jed. Did you hear that? Shucks, no. Says everything. He is simple, he is humble. He is honest. He is tall, and he has got hair on the lip. He is our man. Jed stood up, uncomfortable with the sudden pressure. Forget it. I cannot handle nothing as important as this. Shifty stood up beside him, placing a firm hand on the older man's shoulder. Mr. Clampett, when Andrew Jackson, Old Hickory, was asked to fight the Battle of New Orleans, do you know what he said? Forget it. I cannot handle nothing as important as this, Jed guessed. Is that a fact? Shifty nodded vigorously. But he won, and you will win. History has chosen you, and you cannot refuse. Do it, Jed, Granny urged him. Then we are sure to get an invite to the White House. Jed shook his head slowly. Well, I ain't going to do it just for that. Then you will do it? Shifty pressed. Well, at least the president is trying. Least I can do is try. Spoken like a true patriot, Shifty praised him warmly. I will take you to Princess Sitting Hawk and act as your interpreter. You talk Indian? Jethro asked, impressed. I learned as a child, Shifty lied flawlessly. The tongue of the Columbia Indians was the second language in our home. How come? Jed asked. Well, many moons ago, my family befriended the tribe. When all other pale faces were against them, The Indians knew they could always find refuge in the home of a Schaefer. "It was nice of your folks to take them in," Jed said respectfully. "Our name has become part of the Indian language, synonymous with hospitality. To this very day, to be taken in is to be Schaefered." Shifty smiled, knowing exactly how completely the Clampetts were being Schaefered at that very moment. A short drive later, they arrived at a secluded, wooded park area near the tidal basin. Shifty pointed through the trees. "Look, Jed, I think I see her. Is that her, Honest John?" "Yep," Shifty confirmed. "There she sits in front of her lonely teepee, the last of the noble Columbia Indians, the ancient and venerable Princess Sitting Hawk." Through the clearing, Flo sat cross-legged on a blanket. She wore an incredibly unconvincing Native American costume, complete with cheap beaded fringe, a feathered headdress, and thick, bright streaks of war paint smeared across her face. "Does she sit there all the time?" Jed asked softly, moved by the sight. "Day and night, winter and summer, rain or shine, she keeps silent vigil over home." Shifty narrated tragically. "You think they would let her stay in a White House?" Jethro asked. "It is on her land." "On the contrary," Shifty sighed. "Why, they have cannons to keep her out." Jed shook his head in disgust. "Well, if that does not beat all. Cannons to keep out a poor old 150-year-old Indian. Woman, you cannot hardly blame her for feeling spiteful." "Is that why she wears all that war paint?" Granny asked, squinting at the bright red and blue streaks. "Would you not if somebody pointed cannons at you?" Shifty asked reasonably. "Now you have sympathy and understanding for her cause. She is going to like you. I feel it." "Can we go talk to her now?" Jed asked, eager to help. "I will ask her," Shifty said, holding up a hand. "She has agreed to a powwow." Shifty approached his wife, raising a hand in a mock salute. "Chattanooga, choo-choo." Flo stared at him blankly for a second, then nodded slightly. "Pale-face Cayuga." Jed leaned toward Shifty. "What did you say?" "I told her you were very friendly," Shifty translated smoothly. "Good." Flo looked Jed up and down. "Pale-face Sequoia. She says you are tall. She likes that," Shifty interpreted. "Pale-face Anderosa. She likes your mustache." "Pale-face Tippecanoe. Shoshone too," Flo chanted, getting into the rhythm of the fake language. "She says you are a combination of Lincoln and Roosevelt," Shifty smiled. "That is right Cayuga of her," Jed noted, trying to use the new vocabulary. "Pale-face Potawatomi. No, Potawatomi." Flo corrected herself hastily as she stumbled over the word. "What was that?" Jed asked. "She wanted to know if you are a politician," Shifty lied quickly. "Tell her I am a farmer." Jed clothing standing in stark contrast to the manicured lawns and stately columns of the surrounding government buildings. Jed looked through the tall iron bars. "My doggies, big house the president has got. Nice big yard, too. Lots of room for critters. Reckon he has got a garden and chickens." "Likely, I would bet," Granny agreed, squinting through the sunlight. Jed turned to the taxi driver, handing him a wad of crumpled bills. "Well, here is all our stuff. Here you are, Mr. Taxi Driver." "Thank you." Jethro leaned toward the driver's window. "Now, tell me, what time is the next public tour of the White House?" 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the driver replied, pulling away from the curb. "Yeah, remember that," Jethro said to nobody in particular. "I am going to ask questions later. Tell the president I will be there." Shifty Schaefer rushed forward, his arms outstretched in a welcoming gesture, his face plastered with a wide, deceptive smile. "Mr. Clampett, Honest John. Well, bless my soul. If it is not the Clampetts. What brings you to Washington, of all places?" Jed beamed, shaking the con man's hand warmly. We are here to see the president. We want to talk to him about the smog problem. We are going to help him get rid of the stuff. Shifty's eyes lit up with dollar signs. What a coincidence. He just appointed me chairman of a very special committee for that exact purpose. I am ready to give him my money if I just knew how, Jed stated eagerly. Another coincidence, Shifty nodded solemnly. Just happens to be the function of my committee. I try to do my humble bit. Jed reached into his deep coat pocket, pulling out a worn checkbook. Shall I make out the check to the president? As a matter of fact, Shifty said smoothly, steering Jed slightly away from the guards, the check should be made payable to my committee. What is that? Jed asked. Citizens Against Smog Horror. That is quite a lot to write. Just use the initials. Jed slowly wrote the letters out loud. Fine. Citizens Against Smog Horror. T-A-S-H cash. Now, shall I make it for the whole 95 million? Shifty coughed, trying to hide his overwhelming greed. No, that might be a bit hard to handle. What do you mean? Jed asked innocently. Well, you see, other public-spirited citizens not as wealthy as you might be embarrassed and not contribute at all, Shifty explained with fake sincerity. Oh, well, we do not want that to happen, Jed agreed, his good nature shining through. I am glad you understand. Granny chimed in practically. Give him $5, Jed. Lots of folks got that much. Shifty panicked slightly. On the other hand, let us not go too far the other way. A little friendly embarrassment never hurt anybody. How about starting with $1 million? Excellent, Jed smiled, pen hovering over the paper. Just the right amount to get the ball rolling. That is 1,000,000.00. Jethro looked at his uncle in awe. Boy has got a great head for ciphers, has he not? He is a real knothead, Granny muttered. Jed handed the freshly written check to the con man. Well, there you are, Mr. Honest John. I hope that primes the pump. Shifty held the slip of paper reverently, his heart pounding in his chest. Beautiful. The president will be delighted. Are you going to show it to him? Jed asked. At our afternoon meeting, Shifty lied seamlessly. What time is that again, my good man? Jethro asked, trying to sound sophisticated. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That will be on time. I am a busy man, Jethro nodded sagely. You must know the president pretty good. Pals, buddies, Jed noted, impressed by Honest John's connections. Well, why do you not take us to the meeting with you? We would like to say howdy to him. And he would like to say hi-dee to you, Shifty smiled nervously. Oh, golly, Ellie Mae cheered. However, Shifty added quickly, holding up a cautionary finger, the Secret Service requires security clearance. Jed scratched his chin. Will that take long? Do you happen to have birth certificates, color photographs, passports, and a complete set of fingerprints with you? Shifty asked, listing off requirements rapidly. Why, no, we ain't, Jed admitted. Well, I am afraid it will take a while, Shifty said with a theatrical sigh of regret. Meantime, I will put you up at a nice, comfortable hotel. Yeah, taxi. Shifty waved down another cab before the Clampetts could ask to wait inside the gates. A short time later, they stood in a luxurious suite in one of Washington's finest hotels. The room was decorated with heavy silk drapes, plush carpets, and gold-accented furniture. These are dainty fine accommodations, Mr. Honest John, Jed admired, looking around the massive living area. Well, thank you, Mr. Clampett, Shifty smiled, playing the gracious host. Here, let me show you something. Here you have a magnificent view over the entire city of Washington. He pulled back the heavy curtains to reveal the sprawling cityscape, white marble monuments gleaming in the afternoon sun. Well, isn't that pretty? Jed said. Granny, believe me, Mr. Honest John is fixing us up real nice here, eh? Granny crossed her arms, looking unimpressed. Well, it is all right, but it ain't like staying at the White House. Sure ain't, Jethro agreed loudly, opening a carved wooden cabinet to find it empty. They got a kitchen over there where a fellow can get a snack when he is hungry. Ain't we going to get to stay at the White House at all? Jed frowned at his nephew's manners. Ellie Mae, do not pay no attention to him, Mr. Honest John. He is acting awful pushy. Not at all, Shifty reassured them smoothly. As soon as I have straightened out the matter of security clearance, I am sure the president and his wife will issue you a formal invitation. Oh boy, Jethro cheered. Well, you tell them that they ain't taking in a family of freeloaders, Jed instructed firmly. We will pitch in and help with the housework and the chores. I will make that matter crystal clear to him, Shifty promised, barely able to contain his laughter. We are glad of life to you, Jed said gratefully. Glad to do it. See you later, friends, Shifty said, backing out of the suite and closing the heavy mahogany door behind him. Shifty practically sprinted down the velvet-lined corridor to a smaller, less conspicuous room where his wife and partner in crime, Flo, was waiting. He burst through the door, waving the slip of paper in the air. Shifty, baby, how did it go? Flo asked, jumping off the bed. Like $1 million, Shifty cheered, kissing the check. And here it is, $1 million. Beautiful. Flo gasped, her eyes wide. I can have us packed in 5 minutes. Shifty stopped her. Wait a minute. Where are we going? Mexico, Venezuela, you name it, she said frantically, grabbing a suitcase from the closet. Flo, there are 94 more where this came from, Shifty said, his greed blinding his common sense. Flo stopped packing, looking at him with deep concern. Now, do not get greedy. Let us take our $1 million and play it safe. Baby, this is a chance of a lifetime. Think big, Shifty commanded. I am thinking big, Flo countered nervously. We could get 20 years apiece in federal prison. Shifty paced the room, his mind working a mile a minute. Max, I got those hillbillies in the palm of my hand. They are grapes waiting to be picked. How? She demanded. Well, I got $1 million for smog. I will get $1 million for something else. How? Well, I reckon we best get packing. Should I convert my electric car back to steam? Jethro asked eagerly. No, I think we better fly, Jed decided. When the president sends for you, you do not want to keep him waiting. At the Commerce Bank, Mr. Drysdale strutted into his outer office, feeling triumphant. Well, if he comes in, will you please ask him to call his office immediately? It is an emergency. Thank you. How do you like it, Miss Hathaway? Miss Jane looked up from her desk. Chief, where have you been? Shopping, he smiled securely. Any messages? Oh, just one, Miss Jane said, her face grim. But it is a beauty. The Clampetts are leaving for Washington. Mr. Drysdale froze, the color draining from his face once more. What? They are determined to give their $95 million to the president. We have got to stop them. Get rich little back, Mr. Drysdale shouted frantically. You are kidding, she replied flatly. Here is a signed check, Mr. Drysdale panicked, scribbling furiously on a piece of paper. He can make it out for any amount he likes. I will get up to the Clampetts and delay them until he calls. He sprinted out of the bank and drove recklessly to the mansion, tires squealing as he pulled into the massive driveway. He burst through the front door, panting heavily. I made it. They are still here. Clarence, Granny, Ellie Mae, Jethro. He called out to the empty rooms. The silence was deafening. He wandered into the grand dining room. There is everybody. Oh, hello, Bessie. Bessie, the family's pet chimpanzee, sat quietly at the table, a piece of paper clutched in her furry hand. Mr. Drysdale cautiously took the note from the animal. Is that for me? How are you? He mumbled to the chimp. He unfolded the paper and read aloud. Dear Mr. Drysdale, please feed the critters until we get back. High above the clouds, a massive commercial airliner soared steadily eastward. Inside the first-class cabin, the Clampett family sat comfortably, utterly unbothered by the sheer luxury surrounding them. A neatly dressed flight attendant approached their row with a warm smile. Enjoying your flight? Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Jed replied politely. We are going to Washington to see the president. We are going to give him $95 million. The flight attendant chuckled softly, assuming it was a folksy joke. Oh boy, you know the president. Talked to him this morning, Jed confirmed seriously. Ellie Mae leaned over from the window seat. I am fetching him a baby possum, and Granny is taking him a jar of pickled pawpaws and some hand-slung chitlins. Jethro chimed in from the row behind them. We was going in my electric car, but I could not find no 3,000-mile extension cord. That is very interesting, the attendant said politely, moving to adjust the overhead bins. Ellie Mae looked out the small window at the thick blanket of white clouds far below. Young lady, how high would you say we are flying? A lot higher than the plane, the attendant replied kindly before moving down the aisle. After several hours of smooth flying, Jed peered out his window. I got the wind, everybody. We are flying over a right pretty town. That there is Washington, District of Columbia. Anybody see the White House? Appears to be lots of white houses down there. The seatbelt sign chimed overhead. The flight attendant's voice echoed through the cabin. Would you fasten your seatbelts, please? We will be landing in a few minutes. Yes, ma'am, Jed nodded. Jethro stood up in the aisle, patting his stomach. You going to feed us again before we land? I am afraid there is not time, the attendant smiled apologetically. Granny turned around in her seat. You done had 4 meals and 3 snacks. Why? It makes me hungry just watching you eat. But we are landing now, Jethro protested. Landing makes me hungry, too. We go straight to the White House, Pa? Ellie Mae asked as the plane began its descent. I think so, Ellie, Jed nodded. The quicker we give our money to the president, the quicker he can commence fighting smog. Jethro grinned broadly. Sure, I will breeze him down for supper. I am starving. Jed, if that boy takes his meals at the White House, the president's wife will never get out of the kitchen, Granny warned. I can help with the cooking, Ellie Mae offered sweetly. No, Ellie, I will do that, Granny decided. You make the beds and do the dusting. And Jethro, you can mow the White House lawn and rake the leaves. Let Ellie do that, Jethro grumbled. The president needs me for my brain. Oh, pooh. I will likely be in the East Room or someplace sitting on his cabinet. You keep your feet off the president's furniture, Granny scolded sharply. The plane touched down with a gentle bump. Looks like we made it. The climate is on here. See you at the hotel, Jed said as they gathered their meager belongings. Meanwhile, at the majestic wrought iron gates of the White House, a man named Shifty Schaefer paced nervously. Known to the Clampetts as Honest John, Shifty was a professional confidence man, a swindler of the highest order, who had miraculously conned the Clampetts out of money before and managed to convince them he was a saint. He stood near the guard booth, speaking quietly to a woman bundled in an oversized trench coat. Shifty, what if they do not show up? She whispered anxiously. They will be here any minute. I checked their flight, Shifty replied confidently. How are you going to get past the guard? I will handle it. It is important for the Clampetts to see me coming out of the White House. Okay, good luck, honey. Yeah. A stern-faced guard named Jaffa stepped out of the booth. Hold it. What is it? What? Shifty puffed out his chest, adopting an air of extreme self-importance. The president is waiting. I need to see your identification, the guard demanded flatly. Shifty looked offended. You do not recognize me? Nope. Good. Shifty nodded, tapping his temple as if executing a brilliant maneuver. I told you, Edgar, this was a perfect disguise. See you later. He tried to walk past the booth, but the guard stepped directly into his path. Hold it. Now what is it? I cannot let you in without a pass. Shifty sighed heavily, crossing his arms. Look, you are delaying high-level meetings. Now, what do you want? I want to see your pass. My pass? Of course, my pass, but how do you know? Shifty patted his pockets dramatically in a mock search. I must have left it on the president's desk. I will go get it. The guard crossed his arms, immovable. Hold it. Shifty tried another tactic. Is that your final word? It is, the guard confirmed coldly. Shifty suddenly beamed with false pride, clapping his hands together. Excellent. You have passed the test with flying colors. Congratulations. Now let me see. Now, you are guard number 16. Escape gets an A1 rating. The president will be pleased. Now, do not be surprised if there is a little something extra in your stocking at Christmas. He attempted to slip past the distracted guard again, but a firm hand grabbed his shoulder. Hold it. Shifty's smile vanished. Now, look, you have proven your efficiency. My good man, do not press your luck. I may drop you to a B+. Just candy canes and bubble gum in. Your stocking. Beat it. Beat it? The guard growled. Cavil, one word from me, and you will be guarding a government igloo in Iceland. Shifty threatened, adjusting his lapels. I am going to count to 3. If you are not gone, never mind. I think my pigeons have just flown in from the West Coast. A bright yellow taxicab pulled up to the curb. The Clampett family spilled out. Their rustic Bureau of Investigation, he barked authoritatively, flashing a fake badge. Hold it. The guard, whose name tag read Edgar, commanded, stepping squarely into his path. What is it? What? Honest John feigned impatience. The president is waiting. What is it? I need to see your identification. You do not recognize me? Honest John asked, attempting to project an aura of immense power and importance. Nope, Edgar replied flatly. Good. Honest John pivoted smoothly, never missing a beat. I told you, Edgar, this was a perfect disguise. See you later. He attempted to walk past. Hold it, Edgar repeated, blocking him again. Now what is it? Look, you are delaying high-level meetings. Now what do you want? Honest John demanded, raising his voice slightly. I want to see your pass, Edgar stated, entirely unmoved by the theatrical display. My pass? Of course, my pass, but how do you know? Honest John stammered briefly before recovering. I must have left it on the president's desk. I will go get it. Hold it, Edgar growled, his patience wearing thin. Now what is it? I cannot let you in without a pass, Edgar stated with finality. Is that your final word? Honest John asked, narrowing his eyes. It is. Honest John suddenly broke into a wide, beaming smile, clapping his hands together. Excellent. You have passed the test with flying colors. Congratulations. Now let me see. Now, You are guard number 16. Escape gets an excellent rating. The president will be pleased. Now, do not be surprised if there is a little something extra in your stocking at Christmas. He tried to sidestep the guard once more. Hold it, Edgar said, his hand resting on his nightstick. Now, look, you have proven your efficiency. My good man, do not press your luck. I may drop you to a lower grade. Just candy canes and bubble gum in your stocking. Beat it, Edgar ordered, his tone dangerous. Beat it. Honest John gasped in mock outrage. Cavil. One word from me and you will be guarding a government igloo in Iceland. I am going to count to 3. If you are not gone, never mind. I think my pigeons have just flown in from the west coast. He turned quickly, spotting the unmistakable, towering forms of the Clampett family navigating the crowded concourse. They emerged from the terminal, stepping out into the bustling, humid air of the capital city. They hailed a large, yellow taxi, piling in with their assorted bags, bundles, and a very confused driver. Danny, big house the president has got, Jed commented as they drove past the magnificent, sprawling lawns of the executive mansion. Nice big yard, too, Jethro observed approvingly. Lots of room for critters. Reckon he has got a garden and chickens? Granny wondered aloud. Likely, I would bet, Jed agreed. The taxi pulled to a halt near a prominent intersection, offering a clear view of the White House gates. Well, here is all our stuff, Jed announced, handing the driver a large wad of bills. Here you are, Mr. Taxi Driver. Thank you. The driver stared at the money, completely stunned. Now, tell me, what time is the next public tour of the White House? Jed asked a passing tourist politely. 3 o'clock, the tourist replied briskly. Yeah, remember that, Jed instructed his family. I am going to ask questions later. Tell the president I will be there. Mr. Schaefer, Honest John. Jed called out joyfully as he spotted the slickly dressed con man striding purposely toward them, adjusting his lapels to look as official as possible. Well, bless my soul, if it is not the Clampetts, Honest John exclaimed, feigning absolute, joyous shock. What brings you to Washington of all places? We are here to see the president, Jed explained, his honest face radiating good intentions. We want to talk to him about the smog problem. We are going to help him get rid of the stuff. Honest John placed a hand over his heart, looking towards the heavens. What a coincidence. He just appointed me chairman of a very special committee for that purpose. I am ready to give him my money if I just knew how, Jed stated plainly. Another coincidence, Honest John smiled, a shark sensing blood in the water. Just happens to be the function of my committee. Are you lying? Jethro asked bluntly, his lack of social grace occasionally hitting the nail perfectly on the head. I try to do my humble bit, Honest John replied smoothly, ignoring the boy's alarming accuracy. Shall I make out the check to the president? Jed asked, reaching into his worn jacket for his checkbook. As a matter of fact, the check should be made payable to my committee, Honest John corrected gently, guiding the pen. What is that? Jed asked, poising the pen over the paper. Citizens Against Smog Horror, Honest John announced grandly. That is quite a lot to write, Jed noted, looking at the small line on the check. Just use the initials, Honest John suggested helpfully. Fine, Jed muttered, carefully writing each letter. Citizens Against Smog Horror. He paused, looking up. Now, shall I make it for the whole 95 million? Honest John's eyes briefly dilated with naked greed, but his professional discipline held firm. No, that might be a bit hard to handle. What do you mean? Jed asked, confused. Well, you see, other public-spirited citizens not as wealthy as you, might be embarrassed and not contribute at all. Honest John explained smoothly, weaving a masterpiece of manipulation. Oh, well, we do not want that to happen, Jed agreed instantly, his natural kindness shining through. I am glad you understand, Honest John smiled. Give him $5, Jed, Granny suggested from the sidelines. Lots of folks got that much. Honest John chuckled nervously, sweat beading on his upper lip. On the other hand, let us not go too far the other way. A little friendly embarrassment never hurt anybody. How about starting with $1 million? Excellent, Jed agreed, entirely unfazed by the staggering sum. Just the right amount to get the ball rolling, Honest John breathed, his heart hammering in his chest. That is 1, comma, not, comma, not. Jed counted out loud as he filled in the zeros with painstaking care. Boy has got a great head for ciphers, has he not? Jed asked proudly, looking at Jethro. He is a real knothead, Granny observed dryly. Well, there you are, Mr. Honest John, Jed said, tearing the check with a crisp sound and handing it over. I hope that primes the pump. Honest John took the piece of paper with trembling fingers. Felt heavier than gold. Beautiful. The president will be delighted. Are you going to show it to him? Jed asked eagerly. At our afternoon meeting, Honest John confirmed, carefully sliding the fortune into his breast pocket. What time is that again, my good man? Jed asked. 3 o'clock. That will be on time, Jed nodded. I am a busy man, Honest John added, checking a flashy gold watch. You must know the president pretty good, Jethro remarked in awe. Pals, buddies? Honest John bragged shamelessly. Well, why do you not take us to the meeting with you? Jed suggested logically. We would like to say howdy to him. And he would like to say hi-dee to you, Jethro added enthusiastically. Oh, golly, Honest John stammered, his mind racing to construct a new barricade. However, the Secret Service requires security clearance. Will that take long? Jed asked, scratching his chin. Do you happen to have birth certificates? Is that not the milkman? Jethro leaned in close, lowering his voice conspiratorially. Being a milkman is what you call a cover. Cover? Jed asked, mildly intrigued. He is really a secret agent for the government, Jethro explained with absolute, unwavering certainty. Is he not? Yeah. I learned all that stuff when I was a double-knot spy. Jed pondered this logic for a moment, finding no immediate flaw in the boy's reasoning. Well, I reckon we best get packing. Should I convert my electric car back to steam? Jethro asked, eager to return to the laboratory. No, Jed decided firmly. I think we better fly. When the president sends for you, you do not want to keep him waiting. Meanwhile, back in the sophisticated world of high finance, Miss Jane was standing near the receptionist's desk. Well, if he comes in, will you please ask him to call his office immediately? It is an emergency. Thank you. She turned around just as Milburn Drysdale rushed through the heavy brass doors, his arms laden with expensive, beautifully wrapped boxes. How do you like it, Miss Hathaway? Drysdale beamed, completely oblivious to the impending doom. Chief, where have you been? Miss Jane demanded, tapping her foot impatiently. Shopping, he announced proudly. Any messages? He asked casually, setting the boxes down on a nearby marble table. Oh, just one, but it is a beauty, Miss Jane stated, her voice dripping with dry sarcasm. The Clampetts are leaving for Washington. Drysdale froze, a beautiful, expensive silk tie slipping from his grasp and fluttering to the floor. What? They are determined to give their $95 million to the president. We have got to stop them, Drysdale hissed, absolute panic seizing him once more. Get rich, little back. You are kidding, Miss Jane stared at him in disbelief. Huh? Here is a signed check. He can make it out for any amount he likes. Drysdale pleaded, tearing a check from his pocketbook and shoving it into her hands. I will get up to the Clampetts and delay them until he calls. Drysdale practically flew out of the bank, jumping into a taxi and screaming directions to the driver. He arrived at the sprawling Beverly Hills mansion just in time to see a massive airport limousine pulling away from the grand entrance. I made it, he gasped, leaning against the cold stone pillar of the gate. They are still here. But as he looked closer, the horrifying truth dawned on him. The house was utterly, completely silent. Clarence, he called out to a passing gardener. Granny, Ellie Mae, Jethro, he yelled, running toward the front door, his voice echoing off the expensive facade. There is everybody, a cheerful voice called out from the side yard. It was Cousin Pearl, who was staying behind to tend to the massive menagerie of animals that called the estate home. Oh, hello, Bessie. Is that for me? How are you? She was holding a small, crumpled piece of paper. Drysdale snatched the note from her hand, his eyes scanning the crude handwriting. Dear Mr. Drysdale, please feed the critters until we get back. He crumpled the note in his fist, sinking to his knees on the manicured lawn. He had lost. The money was gone. High above the clouds, inside the luxurious, pressurized cabin of a modern commercial airliner, the Clampett family was experiencing the miracle of modern aviation with their usual blend of awe and cheerful practicality. Enjoying your flight? A sharply dressed stewardess asked politely, pausing beside their row. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Jed replied, tipping his hat to her. We are going to Washington to see the president. We are going to give him $95 million. Jethro announced proudly to the entire cabin, completely unaware of the gasps and stares his statement provoked from the surrounding passengers. Oh, boy. The stewardess smiled nervously, clearly believing they were simple, eccentric folks prone to tall tales. You know the president? Talked to him this morning, Jed confirmed honestly. I am fetching him a baby possum, Ellie Mae added, holding up a small, sleeping ball of fur. And I am taking him a jar of pickled pawpaws and some hand-slung chitlins, Granny declared loudly, patting a large, suspicious-looking bundle on her lap. We was going in my electric car, Jethro lamented, but I could not find no 3,000-mile extension cord. That is very interesting, the stewardess managed to choke out before practically fleeing down the aisle. Jethro leaned over and tapped a finely dressed businesswoman sitting across the aisle. Young lady, how high would you say we are flying? The woman looked at him, completely unamused. A lot higher than the plane. Hours later, the sleek silver aircraft began its descent. I got the wind, everybody, Jed announced, pressing his face against the small, thick window. We are flying over a right pretty town. That there is Washington, District of Columbia. Anybody see the White House? Appears to be lots of white houses down there. Would you fasten your seatbelts, please? The stewardess requested, moving quickly through the cabin. Yes, ma'am. We will be landing in a few minutes. You going to feed us again before we land? Jethro asked hopefully, rubbing his massive stomach. The stewardess looked exhausted. I am afraid there is not time. You done had 4 meals and 3 snacks. Why, it makes me hungry, Jethro complained softly. But we are landing now. Landing makes me hungry, too, Jethro reasoned, his logic entirely flawless in his own mind. We go straight to the White House, Pa? Ellie Mae asked, looking out the window with wide, excited eyes. I think so, Ellie, Jed nodded thoughtfully. The quicker we give our money to the president, the quicker he can commence fighting smog. Sure, I will breeze him down for supper, Jethro suggested, his mind entirely focused on food. I am starving. Jed, if that boy takes his meals at the White House, the president's wife will never get out of the kitchen, Granny observed astutely. I can help with the cooking, Ellie Mae offered brightly. No, Ellie, I will do that, Granny countered, already planning the menu. You make the beds and do the dusting. And Jethro, you can mow the White House lawn and rake the leaves, Jed added, assigning chores as if they were settling into a new mountain cabin. Let Ellie do that, Jethro argued, puffing out his chest. The president needs me for my brain. Granny snorted loudly. Oh, pooh. I will likely be in the East Room or someplace sitting on his cabinet, Jethro envisioned grandly. You keep your feet off the president's furniture, Jed reprimanded him gently but firmly. Looks like we made it, Jed observed as the wheels touched down with a heavy thud, the engines roaring as they reverse thrust. The climate is on here. See you at the hotel. Meanwhile, amidst the bustling crowds of the Washington terminal, a dangerous, calculating man known in elite criminal circles as Shifty, but currently operating under the distinguished alias of Honest John Schaefer, stood near the arrival gates. He was flanked by his glamorous and equally devious partner, Flo. Shifty, what if they do not show up? Flo asked nervously, adjusting her elegant fur stole. They will be here any minute, Honest John assured her, his eyes scanning the disembarking passengers with predatory intensity. I checked their flight. How are you going to get past the guard? Flo asked, glancing toward a stern-looking security officer standing nearby. I will handle it, Honest John smiled, a slick, practiced expression. It is important for the Clampetts to see me coming out of the White House. Okay, good luck, honey, Flo whispered, slipping into the crowd. Yeah. Honest John approached a heavy-set security guard standing near a restricted area. Jaffa, Federal